really dig this, Randy. You know why? This kind of thing happens to me every week.
And Winthrop goes from riches to rags. Comedy sensation Eddie Murphy, Dan Aykroyd, and Jamie Lee Curtis. Trading Places. Tuesday night at 7 on Receptive Channel 9.
On the backs of the Monoman players' helmets is that number 70. The seniors have dedicated this season to their classmate Ted Roy, who would have been a starting two-way tackle this season. He was killed in an incident in Arizona last December. That was his number 70. They're all wearing it on their helmets. The Monoman Indians now are 3rd and 8 at the 39-yard line in their own territory. Jason Oakland, play action on the right side, and it is intercepted by Corey Knight. Knight on the far sideline to the 40, 30. Rick Wilmer out of bounds right at the 30-yard line, and Corey Knight continues to be the big play two-way man.
You can see some of his athleticism come to fruition now here in the second half. He's got the man out there, Oakland, one-on-one. You pick up the replay after he was looking at Oakland's eyes. When he saw him turn and locate the ball, he turned too and found it first. It was a little bit underthrown, and he was able to make the play and then shake off Jeremy Oakland, turn it back upfield, and again, the defense setting up the offense, and we'll see if the Buccaneer offense can convert.
7:38 left in the third quarter. 1st and 10 for Waterville-Elysian, and the sweep goes on the left side for a short gainer before the linebacker Bob Bjorgi came in and shut that one down for the fullback Matt Sorensen.
It almost seems as if that play at the end of the first half where they gave up the interception to Monoman spurred them on. They went in as an angry bunch at halftime, and they've come out and dominated since the second half whistle.
2nd down and 6. Waterville-Elysian with the ball at the Monoman 27. Justin Selbrade wide to the left. Knight in motion. The handoff over the right side, and Sorensen stacked up by Dean Burdick, and there was some popping going on there.
That was a hard hit there. Watch Burdick, number 25, get his bearings, lower himself, and just get that leverage up and into the ball carrier, Sorensen.
You get a big, grinding fullback like Matt Sorensen, and you'd better get him low. You try and stand up a guy like that, and you're going to have tire marks on you. Now Gross back to throw. Watch it for Tom Little, but it was over his head. He was covered in single coverage back there by Jeremy Oakland as they were going for the end zone.
It's one of those plays where both sides of the field are booing, thinking that either one could have been called for interference, but I think it's a good no call by the official. There's Christensen heading down there, and both men are looking up, and the contact was made, but neither one at a disadvantage really because of the contact, and so it'll force 4th down and 2 or 3 to go, and probably a good gamble down for John Bakken on that 3rd down, thinking he still had another down to negotiate the 1st down.
4th and 2 at the 23-yard line. Pattern is full, but Waterville-Elysian now will call timeout. Timeout with 6:17 remaining in the third quarter.
And the clock is still running for some reason. They're going to have to correct that. We're down. We've had a good 15 seconds tick off since the timeout was called.
Now the official has signaled to stop the clock. I don't know that the official, well, they still haven't done it.
Clock operator must not know. There, somebody has bumped him, but that's...
They owe him a good 20 seconds now. I think I said 6:15 or something like that left. It's down to 5:58.
Up to 6:15.
Thank you very much. That's what the guy said on TV, so it must be true. If you believe that. Then they'll get it fixed. 6:15 is actually going to be the time remaining.
Heads-up job by Jack Kelly and his crew, though, to notice the time that had elapsed and get it back up on the clock.
7-6, Monoman leads the game on a score with 9 seconds left in the first half. Jason Oakland's 10-yard pass to Dean Burdick. And the point after was good. Waterville-Elysian scored with 9:22 left in the third on a 1-yard plunge by Tostin Taylor. They tried a 2-point conversion pass, but that was unsuccessful. And thus we are 7-6. Monoman is leading by 1. Hope you'll stay with us throughout the day. Class B championship game will be coming up following this one. Perry Williams will be back for that one.
Huge play here. 4th and 3.
Again, single setback. Flanker right, slot right. Split left. Back to throw, Gross. Lofts it to nobody, and it Jeremy Oakland, the right cornerback. What they were trying to do was apparently curl in the receiver on the left side, Justin Selbrey. But it was not close.
Well, they used Knight as a decoy that time, thinking he would draw the double coverage and the back Taylor would be able to swing out and make the play, but the ball was thrown too far.
5:51 remaining in the third quarter. 7-6 Monoman. And so the ball goes over to
Monoman, and now there's
Monoman
an
Indians.
equipment timeout as Jack Kelly talks with Jason Hendrickson. Trying to do repair work there. Now we're ready to go.
The Monoman Indians have appeared in the state playoffs 10 times in the last 20 years. They were the Class B runner-ups 3 times but have never won a championship. Now they have the ball first and 10 on their own 23-yard line. Wide receiver to the right side. This will counter. And Jason Hendrickson will take the ball across the 25 before the linebacker Matt Sorensen, who is their leading tackler for Waterville-Elysian coming into the game, will stack him up. Number 38. He was helped along the way by the safety Toston Taylor.
Good hole opened up that time, but the quickness of the Buccaneers closed it down before they could do a lot of damage, although 4 yards on first down is a lot better than they have been doing.
Monoman had almost twice as many first downs as its opponent during the year. 182 to 90. Here's the pitch. Back on the 20-yard line. And cutting across, Jason Miller nailed by Russ Morse. I should say they never won a championship. They have not won in their recent appearances. It's been almost a decade, I guess, hasn't it? 79 or 80, wasn't it? 1980. And a player down on the field now for Monoman.
I think what they meant is they have not won since we've gone to the Prep Bowl format.
Prep Bowl format
down here, but
that's what I meant to say.
1980, and now the man shaken up for Monoman.
Jason Miller, the running back, number 22, their leading ground gainer on the year with over 1,000 yards coming in. Let's see if we can see what happened here.
Oh, he's taken a lot of punishment today. He
Russ
lowered
Morshing.
the head there.
Russ
Like
Morshing and Matt Sorensen got him high and low.
Came down hard on the left shoulder and the left helmet gear. There's not such a thing as a left helmet gear, is there? It's
Just left side of the helmet.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's what I meant.
yeah.
And
Yeah, that's what I meant. Just read our minds, folks. You know, that's what we mean.
Jason's all right. Yeah, just a little bit of a hard fall there.
Well, they're right. Jason Miller, their leading scorer, 18 touchdowns, 1,004 yards coming into the game today. He has 17 yards on 8 carries so far here in this game. And now it is second down and 2 to the 31-yard line. Slot flanker twins to the right. Play goes back for Hendrickson. And a fumble in the play. And it is recovered by Waterville-Elysian.
Again,
John Riley, number 60.
That's the best running play we've seen in 3 quarters from Monoman. It came with that counter that picked up good yardage in the last series, and this time Hendrickson was running free, really, and the man made the hit, but didn't really hit him where the ball was.
Chad Atherton, I think, hit him. And then John Riley, number 60. Maybe it was Toston Taylor. John Riley, number 60, big junior linebacker, recovered the ball. Now Waterville-Elysian goes right back. And boy, you've got to be ready for a lightning change from defense to offensive back again in this game. Slot left, pitch left, Toston Taylor. Boston the 50. He found a seam to the 45-40 and is finally double teamed by Jason Oakland and Earl McDougal and brought down inside the 40-yard line at about the 39.
Taylor did a good job of getting both hands on the ball. Once he was being dragged, they started going for the ball, realizing that he wasn't going to get a lot more progress. You'll see here, they corral him, and then he's got to cover up and make sure he hangs onto that ball with 4 shirts around him.
Classic example of the danger to a defense of keying on the lead block. Troy Larson, the left tackle 65, was the lead block on the play, but it was a ruse. You saw he did a little delay and then cut to his left, and Taylor, in that little seam that was opened up, then curled in. And it was a nice play. Meanwhile, one of the Monoman players has been roughed up. It's Bob Bjorgi, number 40, one of the linebackers, I believe. 4:28 left in the third quarter. 7-6 Monoman. Toston Taylor was by his lonesome when he turned.
There's 1, 2, 3, 4 white shirts. And then as he gets into
Couple more
the secondary, we have even more traffic. And it's
that's a great shot. John Bakken looking on, the coach of the Waterville-Elysian Buccaneers.
Fly to the football, the name of the game for the Monoman defense.
Indeed. Christensen, tight end right, Selbrade wide to the left, slot to the right. He'll go over right tackle and rush Forshing. Didn't get anywhere. Mark Bogley, the linebacker, was there to stand him up and drive the nails in, and so was the nose guard Keith Kirsch. It looked like the defensive left tackle Charles Coleman was in there as well.
Get the feeling they're going to try to get it in Nide's hands again pretty soon. He was out there again in one-on-one coverage, and no discredit to Dean Burdick, but whenever they can isolate their man Nide like that, that's to their advantage, they feel.
Slot to the right now is Selbrade. Nide to the right. Reverse. Corey Nide with the ball. Halfback pass. Deep for Selbrade. And it was batted away from Selbrade at the 10-yard line by the safety, Travis Castee.
Nide showed some great skills again. They're running to his left, stopping and throwing that ball. Didn't quite get it out far enough for his teammate running alone down there, Selbrade.
Watch the option. A nice pitch on the reverse, and now the halfback pass.
There's Selbrade with a good 2 yards on his man, but he had to slow for that ball. The secondary rallies, and it's 3rd and long.
38-yard line. Somebody might have jumped early. I guess not. Gross rockets it out on the flat, complete to Corey Nide at the 27. And Nide is brought down at the 25-yard line, first down.
This guy's a big-time football player, I think. He's got size. He's only about 165, 170 pounds. But he made a beautiful square-in move there. Got Burdick just to bite a little bit on the deep route, and then turned it over the middle, made a nice catch again, and has the first down on a big 3rd and 10 play.
Corey Nide, 56 receptions in the regular season, 1,328 yards, 23 touchdowns.
In his first year of varsity competition.
Unbelievable. On first down, they go to the right side with Forshing, and he'll be smacked after a gain of a couple of yards on the play.
And the impressive thing, not that he runs so well, is his hands for a first-year player. He's made a couple of tough catches, turned him into big yards.
As we've said, that spiral it's a nice, accurate pass to throw, but it can be very difficult if you have so-called hard hands to catch. But he certainly does not. Corey Nide. Nice to watch that young man play football.
Burdick has got the assignment of watching him because it doesn't matter which side of the field Nide goes to. Burdick goes with it.
Now 2nd and 7 at the 22. Off right tackle and a little short gainer for Toston Taylor. Charles Coleman will make the stop. 2:21, clock running left in the 3rd quarter. It is Monoman 7, Waterville-Elysian 6. It's been a low-scoring, high-intensity football game. A lot of explosion off the line. We've had some good, entertaining football to watch in this Class C championship game. Now Justin Selbrade swings out wide left. Brett Christensen is the tight end right. They'll put Nide in the slot right. Pitch to Toston Taylor. And good pursuit. And down goes Toston Taylor as Charles Coleman, the defensive left tackle, came in, and Keith Kirsch, 65, backed him up.
Well, that problem with Nide is a hot receiver. He thinks that anytime he gets that kind of room, they should just stand up and throw him the ball, and they probably do have that audible in their book. But the play was called a short side pitch, and Taylor had nowhere to go.
Now it is 4th and 7 at the 22-yard line. 1:20 left in the 3rd quarter. Gross, play action. On the flat, complete to Taylor, but he was nailed at the 20-yard line, and that won't be enough. Bob Bjorge, number 40, the Monoman linebacker, came in to do the damage. Only a gain of a couple of yards, and the ball goes over to Monoman.
Bjorge has been the hit man on defense for Monoman. He shook the ball loose with a big hit in the 1st quarter. It was an excellent tackle there to wrap up Taylor, so he had no room to get the first down. And as a consequence, his team will regain possession.
Now with 1:09 remaining in the 3rd quarter, Monoman with a 1-point lead will have the ball at its own 19-yard line. And senior quarterback Jason Oakland will bring him to work. They can to the second man through. Jason Hendrickson got across the 20 to about the 22-yard line. Gain of 2 or 3 on the play. And the nose guard, Darren Fromm, smacked that play to a halt. Jason Hendrickson, 80 carries, 481 yards, and 5 touchdowns on the year.
Monoman needs to generate a couple of first downs here, and for no other reason than to get the Waterville-Elysian offense a little bit out of sync. They're starting to click a little bit and move the ball. But the longer Monoman can stay out there on offense, the more they might disrupt that rhythm.
Burdick is split wide to the right, slot right. And the pitch back now. Jason Miller shook off a tackle and was checked finally at the 23-yard line as he tried to turn in. Trent Morris, number 61. There was a solid pop coming in there, though. John Riley, I think, is the body it provided at number 60. Look at Riley here in the green, number 60. Boom!
He got hit as well as he gave there, but then the teammates were there to wrap up Miller.
Trent Morris, 61. There's John Riley. 59 tackles on the year. He's the one who did the job. That's the end of the third quarter in the Class C championship game with our score. The Monoman Indians 7 and the Waterville-Elysian Buccaneers 6.
Sometimes you can tell by the way it looks. Sometimes you can tell by the way it feels. Sometimes it comes to you in broad daylight. Sometimes you find it in the middle of the night. But you know when you got the right one. This is the right one. You know when you got the right.
Imagine the power of a huge snow thrower in the body of a smaller one. Snapper presents its single-stage snow thrower. Lightweight, easy to start, and easy to use. With enough power to throw snow up to 30 feet. This Snapper cleans a 20-inch path with rubber-lined steel augers. And it's built to last with Snapper's long-standing reputation for quality.
Snapper single stage is like you'll find a size that suits you right. It's a snap with the Snapper.
Class C championship, 1 quarter to play. The team you're looking at, the Monoman Indians, have a 1-point lead over this man's team, John Bakken, and the Waterville-Elysian Buccaneers. A well-played game despite the turnovers. It hasn't been really a game of careless mistakes. It's been popping that has caused the turnovers for the most part.
That's forced turnovers. We saw a lot of that in the St. Clair-Albrook game, where St. Clair, which won the 9-man championship this morning, 47-12, forced a lot of turnovers. So
There's a nice picture there. Ken Bauman was talking to some of the Waterville-Elysian players saying, hey, great ball game. Isn't it a great thing to be part of, or something of that nature, as he smiled and walked off the field. 1 quarter to play.
Wide receiver left, twins right, motion right. They fire off the flat through the hands of Dean Burdick, who curled into the flat, but it couldn't hang on to it. Burdick, number 25, and Justin Selbraid, the right corner, made the stop.
A little bit of a risk by Selbraid because the inside position was held by Burdick, and Selbraid made the gamble leaping in front of him and did get his hand in there. Had he not, that was probably 6 points, or at least a long gain for Burdick.
Bob Bjorge, the fullback, didn't have a big gaping hole in front of him there, did he? I'm sure he wished he had it. Well, Bjorge will punt the ball away. And it will be caught at the 46-yard line by Corey Knight. And at that point, the Waterville-Elysian Buccaneers will take over. 11:49 left to go. It's 7-6 Monoman.
Sun Valley's huge Thanksgiving sale is alive. From now until Monday, you'll save on everything, including kids' waterbeds for just $119. Bookcase beds only $149. Black lacquer a low $3.99. Backsaver soft sides just $3.99. Day beds $99. Satin sheet packs just $29. Plus, there's no money down, no payments, and no interest for 90 days. The Thanksgiving sale at Sun Valley. Waterbeds and more. This is one exciting sale.
Sam's dating a Brooklyn hairdresser.
I got you a little something. Shampoo, mousse, conditioner, body oil. I'll take that.
And Tony's against it.
I don't want my daughter dating that hood with a hairbrush.
Al isn't good enough for Sam.
Bingo.
You used to be Al. And now you just turned into some suburban snob. Bingo!
On the next Who's the Boss?
Monday at 5 on Channel 9.
11:49 left to go in our Class C championship game. It is Monoman 7 and Waterville-Elysian 6. A parabolic microphone dish with a shotgun microphone. In case you wondered what that was, Paul Kelly, those ace fingers on the audio. All his fault, folks. Great sounds you hear today. Motion right is Corey Nye. It is 1st and 10 at the 46. Waterville-Elysian. Out it goes to Nye, and away it went at the 50-yard line. Nye was shadowed by Dean Burdick. Let's go down to the sidelines now. J.G. Preston.
Doug, if this score stands at 7-6, this would be the lowest scoring prep bowl game ever. The previous low scoring game was the very first high school game played here at the Metrodome in 1982, and Monoman was in that game too. They lost to Lee Center 12-6.
All right, J.G., and there have been some real lopsided blowout-type games in the history of the Prep Bowl, although I don't think anybody would say that, for instance, the AA title game last year would fall into that category. A blazing thriller of a finish.
That was a well-conceived play, the one that didn't click a moment ago, getting Knight out in the flat. He just took his eye off the ball a little bit. Now he's heading
They're
deep
going to do
down.
the same thing on the outside, and a little turn-in by Knight. He didn't get it, and it went right to the arms of Dean Burdick at the 32-yard line, and they will call it an interception. And Monoman will get the ball at the 32-yard line.
It was almost a great play by Knight, turned into a great play by Burdick. A lot of adjustments made on this play. First, Knight is going deep. He sees the ball thrown short. He pulls up, gets his hands on it. Burdick actually got his hand in there, too, reaching back. That's a great bit of competition out there today between those two young men. And Burdick wins that one and gets the possession back for his team.
And he ain't going to give it up to nobody. 11:32 to go. Now 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. Monoman with the football in its own territory. Twins right, 2 setbacks in the backfield. Fake, and right side to the off-tackle play as they got, a couple of yards maybe on the play as Jason Hendrickson took it in. And now
we've had about 3 whistles for men shaken up in the white shirts, and now this is the first one now for Waterville-Elysian is Matt Sorensen. It goes down with favoring one knee there and has the trainers come out to take a look.
An official timeout for an injury as Matt Sorensen is roughed up on the play. 7-6 Monoman with 11:10 to go in the Class C title game. We'll be right back.
These days, it's not unusual to see farmers back in school.
This place sure looks a lot smaller.
Maybe you just got a lot bigger.
They're learning how to apply crop protection chemicals in the safest ways possible.
Remember when the coach made us all get crew cuts?
Right before the prom.
Some things may have changed since these farmers were in the classroom, but learning to protect the environment is something they know will never go out of style.
I suppose you're going to want to borrow my nose again.
Brought to you on behalf of the American farmer by the makers of Dual Herbicide.
It's inventory clearance time at Twin Cities Leather and Boot, now open in Blaine. Twin Cities Leather and Boot superstores have inventory clearance sale prices on all Laredo Code West boots for men and women. Step up to the quality of Laredo Code West at just the right price. Laredo Code West for both men and women. The inventory clearance on all boots at Twin Cities Leather and Boot superstores. Twin Cities Leather and Boots downtown Hopkins and Highway 65 and 85th and Blaine.
The lights of the Hubert H. Humphrey Metrodome shining all day and occasionally making a little rough against that light background for inexperienced pass catchers and punt catchers. Matt Sorensen on the sidelines walking it off. It is 2nd and 8 at the 34-yard line. Jason Oakland, fake, double fake, option roll into the 40, cuts to his outside and was nailed by Corey Knight as he tried to go for the sideline. Smart play after he knew the thing was going to be shut down. Jason Oakland headed for the sidelines, but didn't quite make it.
Well, the Buccaneers continue to take away all those inside options. You can see they plugged up both the numbers 1 and 2 man, and Oakland pulls it out of there. Got some open field. Might have had a bigger run, except for the fine defensive tackle by Knight.
Well, the defensive line has done a job so far today for Waterville-Elysian Buccaneers, but we have had some great confrontations along the way. Now it is 1st and 10 at the 43-yard line for Monoman. 10:49 left to go in the football game. Linebackers stunning a little bit. Long count. Fake. Option left. Stacked up as he turns the corner. Trent Morris threw it in, and then it was nailed coming around the corner. Let's go down for an injury update to J.G. Preston.
Yeah, Doug, Sorensen went down with a twisted left knee, just slightly twisted. They do think he'll be able to come back, but he'll have to sit a couple of series here, I think.
All right, twisted left knee, and again, we point out that when you don't play on the AstroTurf, sometimes that can inflame the situation a little bit more. It is now 2nd and 6 at the 47. Twins right, tight end left. Jeremy Oakland is the wide out. Jason Oakland. This time they go to fullback draw to Bob Fiorgi. Across the 50-yard, he sprung through again and left out at the 41-yard line. That play looked like it was over. And Chad Atherton finally put the brakes on Bob Fiorgi, who just powered through.
Well, that's the danger of the option. The defense, like the fans and the announcers, you got to know where that ball is. And if you don't know that the first man has it, you see Fiorgi with some tough running there. Almost went down to a knee. He gained his balance and got an additional 7-8 yards after it looked like he was stopped. And he's made big plays on both sides of the ball.
He was the leading ball carrier for the Indians coming into this game with 117 carries. His average not too big because they usually go into those classic fullback situations for short yardage. First and 10 at the 41-yard line. Now they hand it to Jeremy Oakland. Back at the line of scrimmage and behind. Lost a yard on the play. Morshing and Sorensen, the linebackers.
You can see Waterville-Elysian now trying to regain that momentum, which has gone over to the Monoman side. It looked like Waterville-Elysian dominated most of the third quarter, got the only score, and was moving the ball well until that turnover. Now Monoman has pushed it up for a couple of first downs, and they face a big 2nd and 11 here on the Buccaneer 42.
And again the pattern. Oakland wide right, Spaeth in the slot to the right. Single setback is Fiorgi. Fake to Fiorgi. And calling his own number, Jason Oakland kept it for a couple of yards gain on the play before he was hauled down at the line by the defensive end, Tom Little. Oakland carried the ball for 94 carries for 470 yards in the season coming into the game with 12 touchdowns. Now with the clock running at 8:35 left to go, Monoman leading Waterville-Elysian 7-6. It is 3rd and 10 for the Monoman Indians at the Waterville-Elysian 41-yard line. Twins left, flank right, motion Miller, fake, reverse, it comes off now to Jeremy Oakland, and great pursuit and penetration by that explosive Monoman line, and the nose guard Darren Fromm, number 76, led the way. Also in there the defensive end Trent Morris, number 61.
Well, defense is the game quickness these days, trying to just beat the offensive players to their blocks and pursue. And these two quick teams with many players going both ways are showing how it's done, just rallying to the ball, forcing a 4th down and a punt.
Bob Fiorgi will punt from his own 38-yard line. A high spinner to Corey Knight at the 10. Knight to the 20-yard line. Summers, 28, and that will be the end of forward progress for Corey Knight as Mogley brought him down, and with 7:36 to go, the ball changes around again, and it'll be the Waterville-Elysian Buccaneers on offense.
Before I bought my Toyota Camry, I really did my research. I rented a different car every weekend, and I test drove each one.
He drove by in a different car every week.
Every weekend, a new car, never satisfied.
Camry was the best. It won hands down.
He's been driving the same one for a while now.
Mr. Rockefeller must have run out of money.
I love what you do for me, Toyota. Sometimes you can tell by the way it looks. Sometimes you can tell by the way it feels. Sometimes it comes to you in broad daylight. Sometimes you find it in the middle of the night. But you know when you got the right one. This is the right one. You know when you got the right.
There was a penalty marker on the play, which we did not see at the time. The Waterville-Elysian cheerleaders going crazy down there, but the ball has been spotted back at the 42-yard line. I think there was encroachment, but I'm not sure.
It's got to be bigger than that because the original line of scrimmage was about the 45. It had to be a 15-yard penalty there.
Well, now the Yeah, they're going to come out and have a little word about that. In fact, Ken Bauman talking to the referee about it. I've not seen, that was the only indication I saw.
Going to be some type of personal foul or clip.
That can't be it. But it had to have been a personal foul if they're going to put that much on it.
Well, they want Nye to have another chance in the open field. So it'll be interesting to see if they can gain more field position. They had it on about the 27 after the original kick.
Bob Bjorgi now whoops and is scooping at the 30-yard line. Didn't get nearly the distance on this one. Nye had signaled for a fair catch at the 27-yard line and just did signal for it as the ball got to him. And now Waterville-Elysian will take over at the 27-yard line. Let's go to the sidelines now, and here's J.G. Preston.
Doug, I'm told that 15-yard penalty was for blocking below the waist.
Okay.
There was a chop block on the play.
No foul. All right. Thank you very much. Well, that's what it was. Had to have been something fairly severe to march it back that far. Now Waterville-Elysian will take over. And with the ball on its own 27-yard line, trailing by a point with 7:22 to go, it is 1st and 10 for Chris Gross, the junior quarterback. Back to the left side for Russ Borching. And squirted free for a moment before being hauled down behind the 30. Jeremy Oakland was there to make the stop along with Bob Bjorgi, who made the first hit.
Borching had a little hole there, but again, the pursuit. 4 or 5 white shirts close on it. He makes one good move there to get some territory, but as he tries to get outside, boy, they come after him, and it's 2nd and about 7.
Bert Leslie, number 50, tried to go low on him, and he made a great little move to get away from it. Nye to the right side, slot to the right, Gross to throw, tip, and it is intercepted by Mark Fogley, number 58, after it was tipped by his partner in the linebacker position, Bob Bjorgi. Bjorgi tipped it, Fogley grabs it, and the ball goes to the Monoman Indians.
Again, the square-in pattern looking for Nye, but that was well sealed off by the linebackers. You can see the eyes of Gross following Nye along the field. But Bjorgi again with the big play to get the tip. And the team rallying to the spot. And now 37 yards separate Monoman from a possible state championship. If they could put one over here and add a conversion, they would be 8 points ahead. Now we have just 6:42 to play.
Excuse me, Jimmy, that is the 5th pass interception on Waterville-Elysian this afternoon by the very alert core from Monoman, as the player being helped over to the sidelines there, Mark Fogley. Yeah, there's been a lot of hits. We've had, how many stoppages have we had because of roughed up players here in this game? These two teams are going at it with a will here, so the game may be running a little bit long, but it's been a good one so far. And now it's Monoman's football on the Waterville-Elysian 37. 1st and 10 with 6:26 to go in the game. Fumble recovered by Oakland. I'm not sure if he fully fumbled it. He kind of bobbled it. He then had nowhere to go, and he ran into the defensive end Tom Little and the tackle Troy Larson. He had it on the snap, and it looked like as he tried to propel himself, he just had trouble. He had to reach down and grab the ball. Officials will call cut timeout. I think you heard what the reason was right there. Troy Larson has got a contact problem, apparently. Now 6:08 left to go. It is Monoman 7, Waterville-Elysian 6.
Interesting defensive tactic as you look at the Waterville-Elysian side of the field. Number 22, Chad Atherton, positions himself a good 15 yards behind the rest of the defensive team. Now, whether they're expecting a quick kick or what have you, I don't know, but he was back there on the last possession, too.
Yeah, he's been there most of the night. There's the delay and the hand of Jeremy Oakland as he got through the line. And Matt Sorensen and Russ Borching, the two linebackers, stood him down. Pat Culhane, 78, is in the lineup now at nose guard as well.
Look how deep Atherton is there, and maybe he just feels that he gets a better look at the whole field and can watch for anything coming deep before he joins his teammates in pursuit.
As I said earlier, they rostered 2 safeties in their lineup. But the way they've been using Atherton, Toston Taylor has come in really as an extra corner, if you want to, if that were actually possible. Free safety has a new definition. Now 2nd and 7 at the 34-yard line. And they'll stack it up, and Darren Fraud, number 76, back in the game, makes the stop along with the defensive end. You see on the right of your picture, Trent Morris, number 61.
Well, that was third down. The scoreboard had second down, but now the sideline marker says 4th and 4. And so Monoman...
Well, one sideline marker had it correct, and the other one didn't. And the one that didn't was the one closest to the press box, and the TV booth, and the official scorer, and so on. It is 4th down.
So big play here.
Bob Bjorgi is back in deep punt formation. If you will. And he'll keep it. Bjorgi on the run, but they sniffed that one out. And Trent Morris with good pursuit along with John Riley, number 60, one of the linebackers, broke up that special play.
Really a low-risk play, though, for Monoman. They had the ball on the 30-yard line when they start the play. So if Bjorgi doesn't get it, at least he isn't sacrificing great field position. If he does kick it, there's the possibility you're only going to gain 10 yards or so if the ball rolls into the end zone. So not a terrible tragedy for Monoman, especially the way their defense has been playing. But the other side of the ball, the Buccaneers now have a little breathing room, 4 minutes to do something about this 1-point lead.
From the pro set, they swing it around the other side, and Corey Knight is on the run and being pursued and driven out of bounds by Jeremy Oakland. Now that stops the clock with 3 minutes, 55 seconds to go, and all of a sudden you start looking at that clock.
Just a game of pursuit, and looked like this might be a big play right about here when Knight gets the ball. It looks like he's got some room, but watch the quick players. You can see Oakland just coming into the picture there along with the linebacker. And they double team him, get him out of bounds.
Mark Bogley, number 58, was in there too to shut down that play. Now it is 2nd and 10.
Nobody was guarding Knight. They picked it up on the audible.
Pop fly. Celebrate at the 40-yard line. Celebrate down the right sideline. Jeremy Oakland finally caught up with him inside the 15-yard line.
Well, that's where the confusion was. If it was Knight, they ought to automatically had Burdick with it, but it was Celebrate out there. They changed positions, brought Knight to the short side of the field. Celebrate split wide. Nobody went with him. Gross saw it, audibled right away, and just lobbed it over that defender who came up late. Celebrate takes it deep into Monoman Indian territory at the 15-yard line.
51-yard pass play for Chris Gross to Justin Celebrate, and now it's 1st and 10 at the 15. They go over the right side. Again, good penetration on Matt Sorensen, and Bob Bjorgi, number 40, made the stop. Matt Sorensen, number 38, just pulling on through on the classic fullback play on 1st down. 3 minutes, 28 seconds left to go. An official's timeout here. It is 7-6 Monoman, but now, after that 51-yard pass play by Chris Gross, here's the ball inside the 14-yard line to the 13, and Waterville-Elysian is on the march. Knight will go out to the right side, and Celebrate to the left. Throw set. Knight in motion left. 2nd and 8. Gross to throw. Over the screen and over the hand of Corey Knight and out of bounds.
Well, the flag is down. I don't think they're going to call either defensive holding or interference against Knight on the play.
Jason Oakland, the safety, number 11, of course, is also their quarterback, was the cover man.
It looked like a strange play. It looked like the same play we've seen a couple times where Knight comes off with the other receiver out into the flat, but he was not even looking for the ball, and Jason Oakland made a play on it. You can see his head is turned. He just starts to turn around, reaches, and they call Oakland there for the foul. And the official's going to mark it off inside the 10 now, half the distance.
Jason Oakland. The pass interference call will move it down now to the 7-yard line. It will be 1st and goal for Waterville-Elysian at the 7. And oh, that clock now. 3 minutes, 9 seconds to go. 7-6 Monoman, and Waterville-Elysian knocking on the door. Now Corey Knight goes to the left side. Celebrate slot to the left. Gross turns around.
They're going to mark it just short, Doc.
It's going to be just inside the 1. You're right. Travis Pasty got him at the last
pretty good call from what I saw. He did extend the ball in, but he had put his knee down on the ground. And, of course, he doesn't do any good to extend the ball after that. Well, pretty close there. Pretty close. A great effort by Taylor. But they mark him.
Now watch this. Where are the knees?
Where is the ball when the knee touches?
The ball, I thought, was over the end line.
So you can see his body came down before that, though. His shoulder was down. I don't know what all the complications of the rule. The shoulder goes down. The ball isn't over yet. Now it's over. So I think they made a proper call in ruling that he was down.
The ball was over the...
Matt Sorensen. Great effort, though. Let's see what Ken Bauman's saying to the defense. Well, we've got to dominate the line of scrimmage and fill it, meaning whatever hole they're trying to create, we've got to get in there.
Well, of course, Waterville-Elysian had started trying to go outside on Monoman with varying degrees of success. They have not used the little quick pop type of pass particularly often in this game. That might present some possibilities, but don't forget their big fullback, Matt Sorensen, and they've got some time to play with it. Second and goal up the one. Right up the gut and over. Waterville-Elysian will take the lead with 2 minutes and 40 seconds to go in the ball game.
There you see the green side of the field, and I do mean side of the field going into pandemonium, and this is a play that Waterville-Elysian has been able to make. They've been able to get that yard or two push off the line of scrimmage all day. It's been the pursuit of Monoman's defense that has held them at bay. But Taylor goes airborne, as he did for their first touchdown, crashing in for the score. And now, of course, a 2-point conversion, because 1 point doesn't do much good. It would just give them a 6-point lead.
2 minutes and 40 seconds to go. It'll be a pass play. And it is complete to Justin Selbray for the 2-point conversion. And oh boy, with 2 minutes and 40 seconds to go, now Waterville-Elysian leads 14-7.
And it forces Monoman to make 2 big plays to beat you. Not only do they have to score, but they would have to either take that extra point to tie or get a 2-point conversion to win. Here's Chad Gross standing up and making a nice touch throw there. Oakland made his decision to try to cut the ball off short. The quarterback has to read whether the guy is playing soft enough so that you lob it deep, or whether he's going to make you try to zip it in there. And that time Gross made the right move, throwing it in front of the defender. Getting the conversion.
66 yards in 7 plays. It ate up only 1:29 on the clock, however. Keyed for that 53-yard pass play from Chris Gross to Justin Selbray. Now with 2:40 to go and a 14-7 lead, Waterville-Elysian with a little shag. And it drops out of bounds, and of course that'll bring the penalty marker at the 31-yard line.
A little strategy there, trying not to kick it deep to the Oakland brothers, trying to prevent that big return. But it goes out of bounds and will be a re-kick with a 5-yard penalty. And, of course, Monoman could get good field position out of this if they elect to kick short again. Even if an up man picks it up, he'd be somewhere in the neighborhood of the 35-yard line. And there's enough operating room for Monoman.
A look of concentration on the face of Darrell Rainhill. Number 73. Who will do the kicking. Dave Gleason had been doing the place kicking. Rainhill will do this one again with 2:39 to go. Whipped it again. Picked up at the 30-yard line by Bob Fiorgi. And he's backed up at the 45-yard line and dropped as he came across by Scott Greger. And approaching the midfield line, there's still time here from Monoman with 2:34 to go.
Well, Bjorgi's a tough customer. He showed some good speed getting around the corner, and then seeing he had no alternative to make yardage but to go upfield, he went right through 2 green shirts, picked up an extra 4 or 5 yards.
2 minutes and 26 seconds to go. The clock is running. Monoman with the ball, 1st and 10 on its own 46-yard line. And just as they went to the line, we'll have a timeout called by Monoman. And Ken Bauman wanted to come out and have a word. John Bakken, we might win. Always wanted to do that on TV.
You got to admire his. It's just a football game. John's having a little fun down there.
2 minutes and 21 seconds is the time remaining in the clock.
Yeah, they were shifting to the other side of the field. Oh, I'm going to go to Disney World.
He's been saving those.
21 seconds from now, I'll be going to Disney World.
Now there is a child of a TV generation.
That's right. John Bakken, 2 minutes and 21 seconds away from Disney World. Look at the Waterville-Elysian players trying to get their fans going. And the fans responding. The players are all trying to get those fans up and going. The green and white clad fans of Waterville-Elysian's Buccaneers. And now one of the players is saying, that's enough, thank you very much. Roy Larson is saying, now you've got to be quiet because they're going to run a play. So here we go. First and 10, 46-yard line. Langer left, slot left. One setback possible. Motion here. Jason Oakland turns to lay. The hand will go to Jason Hendrickson, who got the ball, but blocked only maybe a yard on the play before he was nailed by the defensive end, Trent Morris. And there is that clock inexorably ticking away for Monoman.
Burdick is their speed receiver. At some point, they're going to have to try to go to him.
Tight end right, Quince left. Second and 9, 47-yard line. Oakland, big drop back. Big pass. And it is broken up on the way out to Jeremy Oakland by Corey Nide again.
Nide, the safety man, breaks on the ball, tips it, and almost makes a great play here. He's got a beat on it, gets a hand in there, and Oakland does well, too, to play defender and keep the ball from being intercepted.
It's up for grabs there.
Nide almost with the interception. Now 2 men, a good 30-yard feet with Nide and Atherton.
So they're sending their cornerbacks about as far back as you want. About 28 yards behind the line of scrimmage. The pitch back. Going on the left side for Jason Miller. Here he goes. 45-40 in the sideline. 30. And all out. Actually, he was out of bounds before he got to the 30 at the 31-yard line. Big first down now for Monoman with a minute 42 to go. They trail by 7.
Well, that time the Buccaneers deployed to prevent the pass. They had 2 wide receivers to the right under single coverage, and then the 2 safety men way deep. The result was the left side was left open for the quick pitch, and Miller got around that corner before any of the defensive help could get there, turned it into big yards.
43 yards on 10 carries for Jason Miller. First and 10, Monoman at the Waterville-Elysian 31-yard line. Open the throw on first down, and it is incomplete at the 11-yard line. Intended for the tight end, Howard Spade.
He needed to deliver that ball just a little earlier. Spade had broken past the line and was a good 2 yards behind his men. And Oakland waited just a little too long before that safety help got up there.
Oh, you're right. He had the coverage beat. And a step or a half second, one way or the other.
He's not going to beat it deep. What they got to do is try to get it to someone between those safety men and the line of scrimmage.
Great big open flat back there. It is second and 10 at the 31 from Monoman. Here's Gross. Oh, and just overthrown for Dean Burdick and way too high. That was the right call. It went to the right location. But it was way overthrown.
It's a hole in the middle there. They're up on the line of scrimmage are 9 defenders and then 2 guys way deep. Third and 10 with a minute 36 to play.
You saw how quickly the right corner, Justin Selbraid, curled back to react to that. Actually, they have 3 corners, if you want, in their defensive set now for Waterville-Elysian. Third and 10 at the 31 for Monoman. Trying to get something going in Waterville-Elysian territory. Pass again. The open and left. It is complete to Jeremy Oakland, who is brought down inside the 30-yard line to about the 23.
Couple of yards to go yet for the first. They may have to take this last time out because it's such a big play. We'll see. Yep. Ken Bauman signaling. No, he didn't take the timeout. He just...
Yes, he was just calling out.
Yelled out to the huddle. He was only about 5 yards away from where they're grouping on the short side of the field there.
Here's the call. Here's the game for the Monoman Indians. 1:04 to go. 4th and 2 at the Waterville-Elysian 23-yard line. Somebody jumped. No penalty. Up through the middle goes Bob Fiorgi. Got the first down and then some into the 15-yard line.
Now Monoman racing.
The clock, of course.
Stopping while they change the chains. Quickly up to the line of scrimmage they go. Clock starts now. 53 to go.
Oh, man. Tacklers hanging all over Bob Fiorgi. Now at the Waterville-Elysian 15. Monoman has the ball first and 10. Jason Oakland sets it down. One wide receiver. The pick back goes to Jason Miller. Cuts the corner. Boom! At the 16-yard line. The head was down and the contact was made.
And that forces the last timeout to be taken for Monoman. Miller did not make the sideline, lost a couple of yards. And with just 32 seconds to go, they could not afford to try to line up and throw the quick incompletion.
32 seconds away from hardware for somebody. Right now, Waterville-Elysian, hoping against hope it will be their team. But Monoman, the long, long tradition of excellent playoff football, is driving with just over half a minute to go. And Ken Bauman in the Monoman huddle, the head coach of the Indians. It will be 2nd and 11 when play is resumed for Monoman at the Waterville-Elysian 16-yard line. Let's get into the Waterville-Elysian huddle.
But don't let that quarterback get outside of you right now, okay? Now, here help. Stay in the lane. You need a sack. You need a sack in the game's over. Watch the ball.
That's Jeff Wagner, one of the assistant coaches at Waterville-Elysian. And that's what they're thinking in the defensive huddle. 32 seconds to go. It is 2nd down and 11 for Monoman. Power set. They'll open it out for Burdick. It is intercepted at the 10-yard line by Waterville-Elysian with 26 seconds to go.
That was the play they scored on.
There he is, Justin Selbrave, number 33. Oh, man, with 26 seconds left to go. Let's take a look. This is a power set, nobody in the pattern.
That's the play they scored on. And whether it was Selbrave who fell down in that coverage earlier at the end of the first half and guarding Burdick, I don't know, but Waterville-Elysian, there's no doubt about what John Bakken wants.
Clock is running with 15 seconds, and the referees don't see it. The clock is continuing to run.
Of course, the coach can't call the timeout. One of the players needs to do it. But they're out of timeout. He wanted to make sure, I'm sure he just wanted to make sure that they got it right and touched the ball down. But
well, that's it.
They knew what to do.
What you saw here, friends, was basic fundamental football today between these two teams. Blocking, tackling, pursuit, and good ball carrying. And the Class C title goes, oh man, to Waterville-Elysian. And now John Bakken to go to Disney World. Ken Bauman, who brought his team in here, hoping to continue that unbeaten season, but it will not happen.
I can't believe it. One more time, they put me on the backside, I'll do it.
State champions, I can't believe it, says John Bakken, but state champions they are. 13-1, the Waterville-Elysian Buccaneers 14, the Monoman Indians 7. That's the final score, and the Class C hardware goes to Waterville-Elysian. And they had the T-shirt just in case. John Bakken, the head coach of the Waterville-Elysian Buccaneers.
Well, if you can't be happy, if you can't be excited about what your team has done at this time, then you never will. I think it's just a great tribute to John Bakken to be himself out there and show his excitement. Only one team can win. It's an overworked phrase in these situations, but this is a great ball game. It could have gone either way, and Waterville-Elysian prevailed.
Now they got much for the ice bucket ritual. Now we've got to clean it all up. But there they are, lining up on the sideline. Class C champion Waterville-Elysian Buccaneers.
Rooter section, the Minnesota State High School League presenters will present silver medals to each team player and manager. Your attention is directed in front of the Waterville-Elysian Rooter section. The Minnesota State High School League presenters will present gold medals to each team member and manager.
Turned the ball over 5 times on pass interceptions and won the game. Wow, it is over, and the Class C title goes to Waterville-Elysian. The final score, the Buccaneers 14, Monoman 7, and we'll be back to Prep Bowl 89.
Late in the 20th century, terminal boredom fell upon the land. The maker looked down and said, "This is not good." And so it was. He brought forth Genesis, a system with twice the power, twice the challenge, twice the fun, with high-definition graphics and stereo sound. And the maker saw what he had done and said, "Now that's not bad. Discover Genesis, and your world will never be the same."
What's on sale during Slumberland's huge after-Thanksgiving sale? I could tell you, but I'd rather show you. Sleep sofas, over 40 styles. Everyone's on sale, from $2.99 to $9.99. Mattresses, first time ever, Posturepedic or Beauty Rest. Sale priced at just $99. Others from just $48. Lazy Boy recliners, the biggest selection in town, on sale from just $2.29. Plus, you get a free NFL rocker. There's savings in every department. Slumberland's huge after-Thanksgiving sale. We want to see you there.
Working together, showing you how, helping you say it, doing it now. When there's work to be done, stories to tell, details to capture, nothing works faster. We are the answer. Nothing works like Polaroid. Nothing works like Polaroid.
She was a child, hungry and poor. She was a girl, married and pregnant. She was a woman, loved and cheated on. She became a singer because it was the only thing she could do. She became a star because it was the only way she could do it. Sissy Spacek, Tommy Lee Jones, coal miner's daughter.
Monday night at 7 on Receptive Channel 9.
That's the Class C championship trophy being hoisted high by the green shirts from Waterville-Elysian. The Buccaneers capture it with a dramatic come from behind 14-7 win over a game club from Monoman. The Most Valuable Player Award, sponsored by the American Dairy Association and the Minnesota Dairy Promotion Council, goes to an outstanding player from each of the participating schools. Player chosen from Waterville-Elysian, number 33, Justin Selbrade, who got his team into position to score the winning touchdown with a 53-yard catch and run of a Chris Gross pass and intercepted a pass in the final minute to preserve the victory. He is our most valuable player from Waterville-Elysian. And from Monoman, number 40 in the white shirt, Bob Bjorgi, the fullback and linebacker, an outstanding player on both sides of the ball today with his hitting and with his hard-nosed play. He is our Minnesota Dairy Promotion Council and American Dairy Association most valuable player of the game for Monoman. Coming up in moments, the Class B championship game featuring Gibbon-Fairfax-Winthrop, the Section 3 champions from the southwest corner of the state, as we look at Waterville-Elysian again, still celebrating their team. And they'll be coming up against Perham for the Class B championship, the Yellow Jackets representing the north central portion of the state. Now let's go down to the sidelines. J.G. Preston has the winning coach, John Bach.
Thanks very much, John. What a finish. Congratulations on your state championship.
Hey, that's what the fans want. I mean, because the fans of Waterville want it one way, the fans over Manoman wants it the other way, but everybody else here wants a barn burner, and we gave the fans a barn burner. I'd rather have it the other way. I'd rather have a one even-sided game, but it turned out that way, and I'll take the victory.
How long have you had that T-shirt?
Oh, about 5 minutes ago, man. My athletic director, Buzz Cummings, handed it to me right after the game. I'm on up top, ain't I?
Let's take a look back at the big play of the game, John. Corey Nye's been your money man as a receiver this year, but Justin Selbrate was the fellow who caught the big pass to set up your winning touchdown.
Well, we got this, guys. Let's see it. Is it going to come on? 3, 2, 1.
Okay, no, it's not going to go on. Don't worry about it.
Okay. I thought it was going to
But why Justin as opposed to Corey?
They triple covered Corey.
Get that trophy in there, too.
There you go, there we go. They triple covered Corey, and then they had him mixed up on that play. Justin had choice of 3 patterns to run. He said the fade was wide open, so he told Chris, I'm going to run the fade, and boom, he got down the sideline, got almost a touchdown. A couple plays later, tossed and brought it in.
But they looked for Justin all the way on that play.
Yeah, Chris knew the guy was wide open. He saw the mistake in the defensive group there, and he said, boom, there we go.
Now look here, Justin Selbrate saved the game for you with this interception on 4th down.
Yes, I mean, there he was. I mean, Justin says, hey, he did fantastic. He's an unsound wide receiver in our team because we got Corey Knight on one side. He does a fantastic job. And Tom Little, yeah, he's got a lot of legs. And Justin, they don't notice well, but Justin comes through when we have to. We got good guys all over the place there.
John, congratulations. John Bakken, coach of the Class C state champion, Waterville-Elysian Buccaneers. Let's throw it back upstairs.
Class C championship goes to Waterville-Elysian. Congratulations to them. Coming up in moments, the Class B championship. And you see the matchup that will follow shortly. We'll be back to Prep Bowl 8 in just a moment.
You know, holiday viewing can get a bit dull. Fortunately, holiday reading is as entertaining as ever. Just look.
Wealth Without Risk is Charles J. Gibbon's #1 bestseller that maps out low-risk, easy-to-understand financial strategies for the cautious investor. One of America's best-loved authors, James Michener, details the dramatic history of a vacation paradise in his new bestseller, Caribbean, at B. Dalton Bookseller.
You can call me Books.
Imagine the power of a huge snow thrower in the body of a smaller one. Snapper presents its single-stage snow thrower. Lightweight, easy to start, and easy to use. With enough power to throw snow up to 30 feet. This Snapper cleans a 20-inch path with rubber-lined steel augers. And it's built to last with Snapper's long-standing reputation for quality.
Snapper single stage is like you'll find a size that suits you right. It's a snap with the Snapper.
They say 86% of fat women enjoy sex.
This weekend, there's big fun with Arsenio.
Actually, I can believe it because you know how hungry you get after making love?
Join the party as he gets the skinny from Geraldo Rivera, plus some tall tales.
Actually, I'm 6'1".
Stand up.
From Detroit Piston Isaiah Thomas. And some big sounds from Amen star Sherman Hemsley on the Arsenio Hall Weekend Jam.
Sunday night at 10:30 on Channel 9.
Wanted, a few good men and women. Experience new thrills. Travel to new and exciting places. Meet interesting people. Learn from the masters and have the time of your life.
I'm so excited I can watch.
Get ready, because MASH wants you.
MASH, weeknights at 6 and 10 on Receptive Channel 9.
This is Perry Williams back at the Metrodome in Minneapolis, and we're getting ready for our Class B championship game of Prep Bowl 8. It'll be the Perham Yellow Jackets against the Gibbon-Fairfax-Winthrop Thunderbirds. That game coming up in just a few moments by now. Well, as we have mentioned throughout today, and we'll continue to mention, the effort to try to bring home Jacob Wetterling, abducted by a stranger at gunpoint last month in St. Joseph, Minnesota.
if you have any information on his whereabouts and hopefully safe return home or the rest of his kidnapper, please call Crime Stoppers at 1-800-255-1301. Jacob Wetterling, our thoughts with him and his family here today. Well, we're just a few moments away from our Class B championship game, and we'll have that for you after this break from the Metrodome.
Mr. Morrison has just left his lights on. Mrs. Morrison is pregnant, very pregnant. So the Morrisons could be in trouble.
David, it's time.
Big trouble.
Oh, my gosh. Let's not panic.
Fortunately, the Morrisons have the new Champion switch battery.
The hood.
If it ever goes dead, just switch to the reserve and start your car. Switch back, and the main battery recharges. Get the new Champion switch, the battery with a spare, at Montgomery Ward.
Confused? Getting a divorce? Injured in an accident? Charged with DWI? Or just need some good legal help? Dial Lawyers. Dial Lawyers is a local company built around the idea that you deserve high-quality personal legal service you can afford. Dial Lawyers are accomplished professionals with years of experience working with legal problems like yours. Dial Lawyers. L-A-W-Y-E-R-S. Straight answers, sound advice.
Billy Valentine's a fast-talking con man. Louis Winthrop's a straight-talking businessman.
Morning.
Then their worlds collided.
Is there a problem, officer?
Valentine goes from rags to riches.
I can really dig this, Randy. You know why? This kind of thing happens to me every week.
And Winthrop goes from riches to rags. Comedy sensation Eddie Murphy, Dan Aykroyd, and Jamie Lee Curtis. Trading Places. Tuesday night at 7 on Receptive Channel 9.
Terry Williams back in the Metrodome in Minneapolis. Let's go downstairs now to J.T. Preston with one of our special guests. J.T.
Thank you, Perry. I'm here with Dorothy McIntyre, Associate Director of the Minnesota State High School League. Dorothy's the Director of Officials for the Prep Bowl. And tell me, where do you get the people who work the black and white stripes for these games?
Well, there were 110 crews that submitted an application last fall indicating they'd like to be considered to be one of the final 15 crews to work the semifinals in the Prep Bowl. And those crews were tabulated into a poll, and all the varsity coaches had an opportunity to rate these crews. And as a result, the 15 that are working both last weekend and today, as you can see, are excellent crews. The coaches have watched them over the seasons and highly regard them. So it was just a matter of our giving them a chance to be rated and to be seen, and we're just pleased today because all of these crews out here are doing the job for the kids, and that's ultimately what we all work for.
Quickly, Dorothy, how would someone become an official of high school league activities if one were so inclined?
I'd call 612-560-2262 and ask for this brochure on stop calling the game from the bleachers and get down here in the action, because that's really where all the fun is.
Very good, Dorothy. Thanks. We'll go back upstairs.
Okay. Thanks, J.G. We'll be back for our Class B championship game. The Thunderbirds and the Yellow Jackets ready to tee it off after this break from Prep Bowl 8.
Come settle down for a long winter's nap with wonderful gifts from Water Bedroom. Make someone you love warm and cozy with Simmons Beauty Rest soft-sided water beds and beautiful brass or white iron beds. Save up to $500 on elegant bedroom suites from Water Bedroom, including $300 off this Heritage Oak Suite. Enjoy holiday savings now with no payment until March. Holiday gifts from Water Bedroom. Wishing a Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night.
You've probably noticed most luxury sedans come with power steering, power windows, power door locks, and power brakes. And with the Nissan Maxima, you get all that for under $18,000. Plus something you'll enjoy even more. Power. The Nissan Maxima was named the most trouble-free car sold in the U.S.
Everybody knows that milk's for babies. So charming, disarming, whatever they do. Everybody knows that milk's for babies. And when you know it, baby, milk's for you. Soft baby skin, strong baby bones, bright baby smile, and ooh, great muscle tone. Wouldn't you know it, baby, milk's for you. It's a health kick, baby.
When the show starts at Sesame Street Live, something magic happens. When was the last time your kids had so much fun?
Get silly with Sesame Street Live coming to Met Center November 28th through December 3rd. Tickets at Met Center and Ticketmaster.
Back live in the Metrodome. Let's go down to the field and meet the teams involved for their Class B title game.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the coin toss. Will be teams from Perham, the Section 8 champions, and the Gibbon-Fairfax-Winthrop, which we'll refer to as GFW. Those teams, team captains, and coaches take the field for the coin toss. The visiting team and champions of the Heart of Lakes Conference, the Perham Yellow Jackets. Perham will defend the north goal. The captains for Perham are Charles Nelson, Mike Pavleski, and John Taylor. The coach for Perham is Fred Taylor. The home team, champions of the Tomahawk Conference, Gibbon-Fairfax-Winthrop, will kick off and defend the south goal. The captains for GFW are Jamie Meyer, Matt Miller, Brian Lamka, and John Goebbels. And the coach for GFW is Chuck Sundin. Referee for this game is John Leeser. And now will the remainder of the team members meet at the middle of the field for the traditional Minnesota Prep Bowl pregame handshake. SB championship game.
We'll take a peek of where everybody is from. Perham in Class B, it's the west central part of the state, and Gibbon-Fairfax-Winthrop, the middle southern part of the state of Minnesota, meeting here for the Class B championship game. And by magic, beaming up from the field, joining me for this Class B championship game is J.G. Preston. J.G., come on in here.
Harry, good to see you up here off that field.
Oh, well, you know, whale job, great game in Class C, and we're looking forward to a similar in Class B. We look at this matchup. The Thunderbirds, who are unbeaten 13-0, have been sailing through the season in the playoffs. And Perham, boy, the Yellow Jackets have had one exciting moment, two nail-biters just to get here at the championship game.
These teams are very, very similar. They both like to run the ball on offense. They both have ball-hawking defenses. But there's one difference between these two teams. It's the GFW's got some size on Perham, and Perham coach Fred Saylor's worried about that.
Okay, well, teeing it up for GFW will be number 36, John Fleming. And going deep for the Yellow Jackets, Charlie Nelson and Matt King.
Charlie Nelson's a very dangerous kickoff returner. He's returned one kickoff for a touchdown and a couple of punts. And he plays quarterback for the Yellow Jackets as well.
Well, here we go with our Class B championship game. It's underway, and it's fielded by Charlie Johnson.
Reverse.
And a fake reverse. Johnson still with the ball, and he cuts to the far sideline, and finally, he's still on his feet. He could go all the way. Charlie Nelson, who had one run back for 88 yards in the regular season, goes coast to coast, touchdown, Perham.
Yellow Jackets coach Fred Saylor said that if Charlie Nelson could get in the open field, he could make a lot of dangerous things happen. He scored 17 touchdowns during the season, and you can't score one much prettier than that.
Well, so dramatically, the Yellow Jackets sting for the lead. There you see the miscue, and sometimes that is just enough to thwart the momentum of the kickoff team. And there you see Nelson cuts to the sideline, and then he cuts back against the grain. There's the over pursuit by the Thunderbirds, and then when he cuts back to our near sideline, he is gone. Left 90 yards for the touchdown return. The extra point is up, and it is good as Perham jumps up quickly to the lead with just 22 seconds gone in our Class B championship game, 7-0.
You'll see where that kickoff return was officially marked from. I think he finally got control on the 9-yard line. If so, that would make that a 91-yard kickoff return, and that would be the longest kickoff return in Prep Bowl history. Here it comes again. You see he's got his front foot on the 9-yard line, takes the reverse there, and then takes it the rest of the way.
So dramatic style, as we mentioned, just at the very top, Charlie Nelson, who during the regular season returned one for 88 yards, goes 91. And the Yellow Jackets are out front.
Charlie Nelson's an academic all-state pick in Class B. He's a 4-year letterman in football at Perham. Also has started in football and baseball. Last year, Charlie Nelson went out for track for the first time, and he qualified for the state meet in the long jump. Very, very talented athlete.
Well, he won the dash to the end zone in our Class B championship game.
And for Perham, that's Fred Meyer. Or rather, Dan Meyer teeing up to kick it off.
Dan Meyer with 2 field goals and victories over De La Salle and Deer River in the playoffs just to get here to win at 10-7. And the kick is taken by Jamie Meyer, the quarterback as well for GFW, and the stop made by Joe Huffman, number 30.
These quarterbacks are very similar, just as the teams are similar. Jamie Meyer for GFW has outstanding speed, 4-6 type, and he runs that wishbone offense.
There you see the GFW offense.
Key man on the offensive line for GFW is John Buboltz, the right tackle, a 220-pounder who's being looked at by some of the North Central Conference colleges.
And there you see the Deming brothers. They are identical twins. Jeff born just 2 minutes earlier before brother John. They run out of the wishbone. And the give is to number 32, that's Matt Miller, and brought down by Robert Jensen.
GFW has a couple of 1,000-yard rushers in their backfield. Matt Miller, who just carried the ball, has 1,040 yards coming into this game. Jeff Deming, 1,591. And there you take a look at the Perham defense.
Cole Lewitzki is the number 52, the right end there, and we'll take a look at the secondary. And Charlie Nelson, one of the leaders back there for 6 interceptions on the year for the Yellow Jackets. Make it 2nd and 8 from the 28. To give to the up man, and he is jammed, brought down by John Tater, and that was Jeff Deming with the football. Check that, John Denning, his twin brother.
John Denning is the 3rd back in the backfield, and he gained more than 650 yards on the season. His coach at GFW, Chuck Sundin, tells me that he easily could have had 1,000, just as Matt Miller did, if only he'd had more carries. He's that talented a back.
Well, Chad Woods, number 44, is checked into the lineup for the Thunderbirds. And once again, they line up in the wishbone formation at the 29-yard line. And flags are down. There will be motion along the left side of the line for the Thunderbirds. Well, that is only all season long. GFW gave up only 13 points in the first quarter. And they start the game with a touchdown run on the kickoff return by Charlie Nelson. And they'll be penalized 5 to force a 3rd down situation. It will now be 3rd and 12 from the 24.
The Deming twins in the backfield for GFW, also outstanding baseball players. They played on the Fairfax Town team that went to the state tournament last season.
Nice. Whoa. Well, they have the screen set up, but they could not execute it.
Jason Moore was a lot of pressure on that play for Perham, number 71.
Intended for Brian Lopka, and the Thunderbirds will have to punt the football, and going deep will be Charlie Nelson. We'll see what kind of tricks he may have in store on the punt return for the season. Talk about his abilities. He returned a punt 80 yards for a score.
And he had 2 punt returns for touchdowns on the year. In case you blinked and missed the beginning, Charlie ran one back 91 yards on the opening kickoff to give Perham a 7-0 lead.
Well, here's the punt, and it will be fielded by Matt King. He watches it roll instead, and it rolls all the way down to the 33-yard line. We'll make it. And it'll be down there as the Perham offense will take over with a 7-0 lead, 9:34-38 to go here in the first quarter. Back with more from our Class B championship game after this.
Sometimes you can tell by the way it looks. Sometimes you can tell by the way it feels. Sometimes it comes to you in broad daylight. Sometimes you find it in the middle of the night. But you know when you got the right one, this is the right one. You know when you got the right.
What's new in agriculture? N3624 from the new Northrop King, the second largest seed company in America.
The following may shock you.
Get down!
Because Night Court contains high levels of laughter.
Oh, baby, you know what I like.
And potentially toxic slapstick.
Oh, my God, no!
Night Court, dangerously funny.
Weeknights at 6:30 on Receptive Channel 9.
Watch out for number 66 for GFW, Clint Schmidt. They call him the Undertaker. He's going to a school to be a mortician.
I'll tell you, if we were playing this game outside today, those kids would need an Undertaker.
Oh, I tell you, that's a grave situation. So now we set it up now for the Perham offense with 9:32 to go and running in their first quarter. They lead it 7-0. Here's Nelson on the keeper, and he picked up about 5 on the play up to the 40-yard line.
You'll see that play a lot today. Charlie Nelson, the senior quarterback, is also Perham's leading rusher on the year with 939 yards.
Brought down by Matt Pettis. Here we'll take a look at the Perham offense and Meyer and the rest of the crew up front.
Key player there is the center, Mike Kowaleski. He was a tailback last year. They graduated their entire offensive line. He volunteered to play center at just 175 pounds, but he's very quick.
Well, head coach Fred Saylor said that's one of the most unselfish players he's ever had. And there's the, on the trap block, handoff to Don Braun, and he's brought down by Brian Lopka and Clint Schmidt. So the Undertaker took him down.
Perham coach Fred Saylor's in his 4th year as the head coach. And the first time they got into the state tournament was this year.
Well, there you see the front line. Denning, Buboltz, Woods, Leibel, and Deming. And then the secondary.
Clint Schmidt's the man who's led him in tackles all season, number 66.
145 combined on the year. It's 3rd and 3. The handoff, and he is stopped inside there. That was John Cater. And he's brought down by Clint Schmidt, number 66. And that will force down a 4th and 3 situation. And they will have to punt up the football as the Thunderbird defense holds. And Perham will punt it away.
John Tater, a senior, like Charlie Nelson, was on the varsity as a 9th grader. They're each 4-year letterman and both academic all-state selections.
Ross Beaker will do the punting, and going deep will be Matt Miller, number 32, and number 16, Jamie Meyer. Rolling snap, but he gets the punt away, and pretty good punt, and they'll watch it bounce and roll. And it lies flat, and it will be down at the 27-yard line of Gibbon-Fairfax-Winthrop. So they will take over an offense. 7:31 remaining here in the first quarter, and the Thunderbirds trail it by 7.
If you're using newspapers to hit the Twin Cities market, you'll miss the mark more than half of the time. Television, on the other hand, always makes an impact. TV advertising, twice the audience of newspaper, twice the impact.
She was a child, hungry and poor. She was a girl, married and pregnant. She was a woman, loved and cheated on. She became a singer because it was the only thing she could do. She became a star because it was the only way she could do it. Sissy Spacek, Tommy Lee Jones, coal miner's daughter.
Monday night at 7 on Receptive Channel 9.
Welcome back to our continuing coverage of Prep Bowl 89, brought to you by your Toyota dealer in the 1990 Toyota Camry. Family Circle Magazine, 1989 Family Car of the Year. Toyota, I love what you do for me.
Jerry, the feeling is mutual.
I don't say that, people will talk. As the offense for the Thunderbirds, and there's Jamie Moyer under the center. And the give is to number 44, Chad Woods, and he goes all the way up to the 33-yard line. The pick of about 6 yards, brought down by Don Brown.
Here's your geography lesson for the afternoon. Gibbon, Fairfax, and Winthrop are all located on Highway 19 in south central Minnesota. Fairfax is the one on the west. It's in Renville County. Then comes Winthrop in the middle, where the high school is, and Gibbon on the east side. Those two are in Sibley County.
Do we have a quiz on that later?
It's going to be a pop quiz if there is, Perry. Be ready.
Okay, here's Moyer, the give to Jeff Deming, and he is brought down for about a 1-yard loss by Mike Kowalewski.
Jeff Deming went over the 1,500-yard mark rushing on the season, despite missing the first 2 games completely with back spasms.
They had 22 touchdowns on the year, so this brings up a 3rd and 6 situation, and checking the lineup is Matt Miller settling into play, and John Deming will go out for the T-Birds.
GFW comes into this game undefeated at 13-0. Perham 12-1. Their only loss was to Monoman, the team that just lost in the Class C championship game.
Well, they have a high backfield, back to pass, first one of the afternoon. And a great catch made there by number 84, Eddie Magus. Brought down by Ross Beeger, but a great catch by Magus.
Magus had to go up in traffic with 2 men on him. Watch as he wrestles the ball away from them both.
Magus with an outstanding catch. He had 2 defenders on him. They pick up the first down on the 42-yard line. Good concentration.
GFW does not throw the ball a lot. Jamie Meyer has just 28 completions on the season coming into this game. That's an average of just over 2 per game.
Well, they average more than 400 yards rushing on the per game on the year. The gift on the delay, number 28, Jeff Deming. He spins his way up to the 47-yard line, brought down by number 2, Don Braun.
Chuck Sundin, the coach of the Thunderbirds, tells me that the strengths Jeff Deming has as a running back are balance and lateral movement, and you really saw the balance come into play there. He was able to stay on his feet and get an extra 3 or 4 yards after where he could have come down.
Here's the give to the deep man, and that was Deming once again, brought down by John Tater, as they're going to try to chew up some yardage on the ground. Sets up a 3rd and 5 situation at the 47.5-yard line. And checking back in is John Deming. They're shuttling the plays, Matt Miller and John Deming. And from the sideline, head coach Chuck Sundin, who said coming in he thought it'd be a low-scoring game, given the fact that Furman's an outstanding defense of their own, and certainly the Thunderbirds, 6 of the last 7 game shutouts, do boast that as well. Here's the 3rd down play out of the wishbone now. The give and the miscue and the fumble, but recovered alertly by John Deming for a loss, and Aaron Drummond is there to cover, but it will force a punting situation for the Thunderbirds.
Aaron Drummond, the lineman for the Perham Yellow Jackets, is the son of the Perham High School principal, Dennis Drummond. And Dennis was once a collegiate linebacker at Colorado University, played in the Big 8.
Well, Shad Evenson will do the punting chores for Gibbon-Fairfax-Winthrop, and going deep will be Charlie Nelson, number 11, and Matt King, number 23.
Don't think they don't look for where that number 11 is before they kick it.
The fair catch is taken and made there at the 21-yard line, and that's where the Perham offense will set up shop when we return after this break. It's 3:47 remaining in the first quarter.
Sometimes you can tell by the way it looks. Sometimes you can tell by the way it feels. Sometimes it comes to you in broad daylight. Sometimes you find it in the middle of the night. But you know when you got the right one. This is the right one. You know when you got the right.
My friends always know what kind of gift they'll get from me. But with the wide selection of books at B. Dalton, they're always surprised.
How to win at Nintendo for video game wizards. Gerald Brown's bestseller, Hot Siberian. Wildcat, the new blockbuster from Craig Thomas. Master crime writer Joseph Wambau's The Blooding. A Twist in the Tale, Jeffrey Archer's latest. And A Season in Hell, the latest from Jack Higgins at B. Dalton Bookseller.
You can call me Books.
Harry Williams and J.G. Preston back at the Metrodome, our Class B championship game. At KMSP, we are are somewhat saddened to announce the upcoming retirement of Joe Carney, our executive producer. He started way back with Channel 9, 1957. He is our executive producer of the Prep Bowl, the high school basketball tournaments, hockey for the University of Minnesota, basketball, the Twins and North Stars. Of course, he's all of Channel 9 public service shows, including Focus, Senior Citizens Forum, Young Issues. And with Joe's help, KMSP is now the #1 rated independent station in the entire country. Originally from Providence, Rhode Island. He started with Channel 11, and he joined us at Channel 9 back in September 1957. We certainly wish Joe the very best in his retirement out. Many thanks for all his years of service at Channel 9. Now here's Nelson. He is decked for a sack, brought down there by Clint Schmidt on the first down play as Charlie Nelson looked around, no one to throw to, and then took the sack.
Perham showing pass on this play, and that's rare for them. The Yellow Jackets, Charlie Nelson, had completed only 37 passes on the season coming in. That's fewer than 3 per game, so you're not going to see a lot of that, especially on first down.
Well, it sets up a 2nd and 15 situation at the 16-yard line. Charlie Nelson, who rushed for 939 yards during the regular season. So here this time he gets the handoff to Matt King, number 23, and he's stopped there by Matt Pettis and by John Buboltz.
King averaged better than 5 yards a carry during the season, has 528 yards coming in. Nelson, the quarterback, their leading rusher, and then John Tater had 671 yards coming in. Nobody with the outstanding stats the way GFW's Jeff Deming has, but good balance through the Perham backfield.
Rick Walk now in the lineup for Perham, 3rd and 14 situation. See if they put it up deep in their own part of the field.
Take the reverse.
And they pitch it out wide, and this was John Tater, brought down by Rich Busey. Question, that's
Bussey, actually.
Bussey. Look at it down before the day is done.
Winding down towards 2 minutes to play in the first quarter, and Perham's holding on to that 7-0 lead they've built over GFW on that 91-yard kickoff return by Charlie Nelson to open the ball game.
Well, forced in the punting situation, it's 4th and 12, and got the kick from his own 7-yard line. High snap, and almost blocked, but got away nicely. And this is Matt Miller. And he is hauled down at the 48-yard line, but they're inside Perham territory for the first time today. And they will sit down the offense at that point.
Earlier today here at the Metrodome, another state championship game. St. Clair won the 9-man championship by beating Albrook 47-12. And Waterville-Elysian took the Class C title in the game just prior to this. They beat Mahnomen 14-7 in a game that went right down to the closing minutes.
Well, here's Jamie Moyer over Meyer, the fake reverse, and this time it's Deming holds on to it. He busts his way down to the 41-yard line, brought down by Ross Beeger.
Jeff Deming's got a number of the North Central College Conference teams taking a look at him for NCAA Division II play. He's got the good wheels in the open field, and he's a pretty well-built young man as well, 6 foot, 187 pounds.
Well, he talked about his athletic ability. He's a pitcher on the baseball team, and his twin brother John, a catcher. I guess that's somewhat appropriate. They've probably been playing catch all those years in the backyard.
They have a hard time telling who's pitching and who's catching, though. They look an awful lot alike.
Picked up 7 on that play, make it 2nd and 3. Here's Meyer, the pitch out. This time to go wide to John Deming. He is brought down on a nice defensive play by Don Braun, who's been quite impressive defensively here in the first quarter for the Perham Yellow Jackets.
This is the 4th year that Gibbon, Fairfax, and Winthrop have been together as a consolidated school district. Prior to that, Fairfax and Gibbon had separate high schools, but they were paired in football from 1983 through 86. Winthrop High School was also a separate school. They were paired with Gaylord for high school from 83 through 86. So these schools only in their 4th year is operating as one school district.
Well, Shad Evenson is checked into the lineup. Number 83, he goes at the tight end position on the left side, the double tight end formation. They split receiver out wide right. And he's looking for him, and he goes to the short man instead. And picking up the first down with number 48, Brian Lopka, brought down by John Tater. But nevertheless, a first down for the offense of Gibbon-Fairfax-Winthrop as the first quarter comes to an end. We'll take another look at it.
Brian Lampka, a very dangerous man, 6'3", 230 pounds. He's played both fullback and tight end for the Thunderbirds this year, and he's also considered a good Division II college prospect. Good wheels in the open field, too.
They had Deming, John Deming out wide to the right. He was open, but they went to the short man and picked up the first down as the first quarter is in the books of this Class B championship game. And Parham, on the strength of an opening kickoff return of 91 yards by Charlie Nelson, leads it 7-0.
The American farmer takes on a lot of tough jobs every day. He does everything he can to produce a good crop. And he does everything in his power to preserve our delicate environment, such as terracing his fields to control runoff and erosion, so that families like his can continue farming for generations to come. Brought to you on behalf of the American farmer by the makers of dual herbicide.
It's too funny.
Lincoln, would you get a stool specimen, please? Business or personal?
Too hip.
Ungrateful little yuppie larva.
Too spooky.
You're scaring me. Stop it.
Too much.
Do you know how weird it is out there?
Ghostbusters 2, now available on video cassette.
Yes, we're back.
Perry Williams, J.G. Preston, back at the Metrodome, our Class B championship game. Bearing up by a touchdown and an extra point, and unfortunately not everybody gets to take part of this championship game. There are some who are injured, and one is standing by with our Jim Gilliland. Gilly?
Well, looking at the wounded knee of Mike Wendinger, a sophomore from Gibbon-Fairfax-Winthrop, who can't make it today. What happened and when did you get hurt, Mike?
I had hurt against NVL last regular season game.
Guys, everything's hyphenated down there. What's NVL?
Minnesota Valley League.
Oh, Minnesota Valley League.
Yeah.
What did you do?
I got hit on the outside. My knees kind of buckled in and tore 2 ligaments.
So you're forced to the sidelines. What do you think of the way, I know you didn't like the way the game started, but how do you think your teams reacted to that initial shock?
The initial, they reacted very well. You know, the coach told them not to get worried. And once we get a running game established, we'll be fine.
And it's still just a 1-touchdown margin here as Gibbon-Fairfax-Winthrop advances the ball. By the way, Mike is from Fairfax, and the 2 Wendingers on the roster are cousins back upstairs.
Well, thank you, Jim. We were wondering that there on the play. You saw Aaron Drummond, number 56, drag down Jamie Meyer for a loss to make it 2nd and 14 on the 30-yard line. Todd Wendinger, by the way, the cousin, number 67, the center for the Thunderbird offensive attack.
Fairfax has contributed quite a bit to this team. The Deming twins are from Fairfax. Jamie Meyer, the quarterback, is from Fairfax. And Brian Lampka, who came through with that big catch earlier just at the end of the first quarter. He's a Fairfax guy as well.
Well, here's Meyer looking long this time and wide open. Once again, is number 84. That's Eddie Magus, brought down there by Charlie Nelson. And not before he is close to a first down, maybe about a yard short.
Eddie Magus, a 6'1 senior, could not possibly have been more wide open coming across the middle on that crossing pattern. And Meyer has plenty of time to find him. Gets good zip on the ball, throwing off the back foot like that.
Well, Magus has been open twice now, and it looks like they will bring the chains in for the measurement. And we'll see if they had enough to pick up the first down. There you see the 6'1", 182-pound senior.
Magus only caught 7 passes during the season, but he made them count. 20 yards a catch and 2 touchdowns.
Well, as we had mentioned, there you see, as we speculated correctly for a change, you're a little bit short of that first down marker, but not by much. This is primarily a rushing game that the Thunderbirds display. Over 400 yards a game they've averaged. In fact, they've outscored opponents this year 547 to 72.
GFW was knocked out in the section finals last year, and the team that beat them was Waterville-Elysian. They were playing Class B last year with the Buccaneers, and they dropped down to Class C this year and just won the state championship in that class. GFW with 9 starters back from that team that went to the section finals last year. They knew they had a good club coming back.
Well, this time he sets them into the I formation. The deep back is Jeff Deming. To give to the up back instead, and that was Brian Lapka, who caught a pass just moments ago, and it looks like he probably will have enough for the first down, brought down by Kurt Meyer.
Jamie Meyer, the GFW quarterback, lucky to get that ball even handed off.
Good penetration in the attack there by Meyer and the whole defensive crew.
Jason Morris, number 71, blew in there real quick, too.
Take that back.
That play.
They are still short. And a fourth down, they are going to now call a timeout and talk it over at the 17-yard line, where the Thunderbirds will have 4th and 1 when we return with our Class B championship game.
Dear Diary, today I heard Mom say she looked all over for Galoob lost and founds. Well, Jessica says her mom found them at a great price at Children's Palace. At Children's Palace, Mom can find all the Galoob lost and founds for just $24.99 each. They can drink from their bottles and cry real tears. Why, they're lost and alone and just need some love and a good home. So I told Mom for low prices every day, go to Children's Palace. After all, it is America's favorite toy store. More good news tomorrow.
Sometimes you can tell by the way it looks. Sometimes you can tell by the way it feels. Sometimes it comes to you in broad daylight. Sometimes you find it in the middle of the night. But you know when you got the right one. This is the right one. You know when you got the right.
KMSP Television has purchased the broadcast rights to the 1989 Minnesota State High School Prep Bowl. No broadcast, rebroadcast, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and account of this copyrighted telecast is permitted without the written authority of KMSP Television or the Minnesota State High School League. Class B championship game. Parham up by 7-0 score, but Gibbon-Fairfax-Winthrop knocking on the door, 4th down, and just inches to go for 1st down on the 17-yard line. The last time they were in the I formation and gave it to Lampka, number 48, the big 6'3" fullback / tight end. And let's see, this time they set up in the wishbone with Lampka, the fullback. And this time to give it to Jeff Deming, and he cuts it up for the 1st down and more. Brought down by Don Braun, and out to 4. The 1st down is picked up by the Thunderbirds and former Jeff Deming. Go to the right side.
Good job up front by the Thunderbird line, and a good decision made by the quarterback, Jamie Meyer, to pull it out of the fullback's gut and give it to the second man through, Jeff Deming.
Well, he took it down to the 12-yard line, and Aaron Drummond is trotted off the field. And got Koopmacher coming in for the Yellow Jackets. So Meyer will set him down on the 12-yard line.
Back in the eye with the slot back in motion now.
That is John Deming. And this time he looks and decides to keep it, cut it back in, and he's going to score a touchdown. Jamie Meyer from 12 yards out finds the end zone. And the score is now Parham 7, Gibbon-Fairfax-Winthrop 6, with the extra point yet to come.
The two quarterbacks have scored the touchdowns for each team here, and it could come down to these two guys meaning the ball game. Jamie Meyer looking to pass on this play, I do believe, with that man in motion. Quickly making the decision that a pass would not be wise in these circumstances. And those happy feet get him into the end zone with room to spare.
A nice block by John Deming there, which helped clear the lane for the score.
And that's John Deming who's teeing up the extra point out of a hold by Jamie Meyer just to tie the game.
You never know what these extra points throughout the prep bowl so far. We've seen several missed, but not that one. It was cruised for the upright, and our game is tied at 7. As the Thunderbirds come roaring back here in the second quarter, tie it all up. Back with more Class B championship action after this pause.
Finally, a salon developed to adapt to the needs of a more contemporary lifestyle. The sophisticated look, achieved with emphasis on volume. Precision and asymmetrical cuts can be very versatile, blown dry or curled into a desired style. And ask about hair weaving or highlighting and coloring techniques, adding new excitement to upbeat cuts, featuring Scruples hair products at Black Hair Design in Minneapolis or on Gel's Touch of Elegance, St. Paul.
Hey, time out, sports fans. Old Willard here to kick off the football season the official way with real cheese. Take time out before the game for pregame pizza warm-ups with mozzarella. And then there's the famous quarterback snacker crackers, followed by a football hero with Swiss and Colby. Just make an end run to the store for your home team's favorite cheeses, and you'll score extra points. So don't forget the cheese.
Well, GFW goes 48 yards, and they played 4:04 their last time to tie it up. 12-yard run by the quarterback, Jamie Meyer. And here it is. This is the way the wishbone and the option is designed. Up to the quarterback to make the decisions, and he decides to keep it. You see a nice block coming up here by number 36.
The wishbone gets a lot of yards between the tackles, but that outside threat is always hanging over. And just when you start to pinch in and try to shut the game off from tackle to tackle, a guy like Jamie Meyer with his 4.6 speed in the 40 can do some damage.
Well, John Deming will kick off. We'll see what happens this time. Last time he did was return 91 yards for a score. This time it's
nowhere near Charlie Nelson.
Pat King, number 23, who has it. And he's at the 20, and he's hauled down by a swarming kickoff return team.
That's Jeff Rose, number 74, trotting off the screen, who made the big hit.
And Brad Wendinger is also in on the tackle. He kicked it away from Charlie Nelson that time, and King was brought down at the 17. And the Yellow Jackets offense will go on the attack.
Good work there by Rose, coming in low to make that stop.
Charlie Nelson, a man in motion, and that is Braun. He runs prop play. That's John Tater, who had more than 671 yards plus rushing on the season. Picked up a couple on that play.
John Tater's a talented football player, but he's bound for college on a wrestling scholarship. You see him get the good yardage up the middle here. One of 12 children in his family, and 2 of his brothers before him have gone on to be college All-Americans in wrestling. Jared at North Dakota, Nate at St. Cloud State. And John Tater qualified for the state wrestling meet last year as a junior.
John did miss 3 games this year with a groin injury. Once again, then Braun goes in motion left. Here's Nelson, the handoff. Given and busting into the open is number 23, Matt King. Brought down by Lamka and Pettis. Linebacker and the safety men, respectively, for the Thunderbirds. That is good enough for the first down.
Perham has not racked up the huge offensive stats on the season that we often see in prep bowl teams. They've averaged just 26 points a game. And here in the state tournament, they've scored just 20 points total in 2 games. But the Yellow Jackets have got a way to chew up time on their drive, so they make efficient use of their offense.
And they have the ice of Dan Meyer, the kicker, who on consecutive playoff games was the difference with a winning field goal. And there you see the Tater with a handoff, and he is mauled down there by Ken Liebel. And stopped cold at the 28-yard line.
Here it comes again from ground level. John Tater just with nowhere to go on that play.
Kenny Liebel, 6'2", 205-pound senior, number 76. That's up a 2nd and 9. They'll give him a yard on that one. Well, 2nd and 9 the scoreboard, 2nd and 11 on our screen. But nevertheless, out of the I formation. Good penetration. This time it's Nelson, the keeper. He cuts it back inside. Picks up maybe about 4 yards on the play. Brought down there by Lamka and Clint Schmidt, the inside linebacking crew.
We've talked about Nelson's versatility, and there's a timeout on the field now, and I think that's Charlie Nelson who's slow to get up.
Charlie Nelson was really popped inside there by Schmidt and Lamka.
Take a look at the play again and see what happened. He's on his back and being tended to now by the sports medicine people on the sidelines. Boom, came down hard on that right hip. And he's flat on his back.
Well, as they tend to Charlie Nelson, we will take a break here at Prep Bowl 8, 1989. Back to update that injury for you after this break.
But we both need a car with a lot of room.
Mrs. Martino has like about 10,000 suitcases full of junk she packs in her comfort trips.
When we travel, Pat and I both have a lot of stuff. But it's never a problem loading the Camry.
Mr. Martino has like about 1 suitcase this big, but he gets to drive.
I love what you do for me, Toyota. Sometimes you can tell by the way it looks. Sometimes find it in the middle of the night. But you know when you got the right one. This is the right one. You know when you got the
Perry Williams and J.T. Preston back for our Class B championship game. We are happy to report, at least for now, Charlie Nelson did walk off the field on his own power. Take the whip. That's the hit again. Probably just got the wind knocked out of him. By the way, if he cannot go, number 80, Ross Beeger, will be the quarterback. He's played very limited action for the Yellow Jackets this year. A little bit against Monoman, but that's been about it.
Ross Beeger has to play at least this snap since an official timeout was caused by the injury. He has been Charlie Nelson's favorite receiver on the year with 20 catches on the season, but he doubles as the number 2 quarterback.
Sets it down on the eye, and the deep pitch it goes to Rick Walk. Rick Walk is hauled down for a slight gain, and it was John Deming with the tackle. And
Matt Kruger is now coming in, number 12, to play quarterback for Firm.
There you see the tackle, and that's one way to go flip up and over. Sets up a 4th down and 3, and this is a punting situation, and in will be Evenson for Ross Beeger, rather, will kick, and Jamie Meyer and Matt Miller deep for the Thunderbirds. Boy, he's just getting those punts off just in time, but gets a nice throw on this one and goes out of bounds around the 43-yard line in Thunderbird territory.
Unfortunate trajectory, but I think that's the only way Beeger could have got that punt off. If he had punted it any lower, it would have been blocked.
Jim Gillen is on the field with a very special guest or two. Gilly?
That's right, Perry and JG, 2 of them. As a matter of fact, members of the state volleyball entrant team from Perm, the first ever, I might add, Kim Sanoa and Sarah Happel, and they happen to be the co-captains of the volleyball team. And Kim, has to have been an exciting week. What has it been like up there this week with 2 tournament teams?
Well, everyone in town is just really enthusiastic about coming down here and rooting on this team. They came down last week and rooted us on. Really, the team in town has really come together. Everyone's down here. Pretty much no one's back in town. It's empty.
All right, there's a big play for the other guys right here. Sarah, you guys have to do something to turn this around. What was it like last weekend? You guys were in the tournament and they were playing to get to the Prep Bowl. It must have been some divided loyalties. How did the townsfolk decide which event to attend?
It was pretty tough because some people went to watch the football players and some came down to the Met Center to see us, and others stayed home so they could listen to both of them or else see them on TV. So it was great because we got the pep band, but part of the pep band is made up of volleyball players and football players. So, but it worked out okay, and everybody's doing good.
It's a great athletic year in Perham. Let's go back upstairs.
A great athletic effort by Jeff Deming with 32 yards and brought it all the way down to the 15-yard line. Here's a pitch to his brother John Deming, and finally brought down by Kovalevsky. But on that play, Ross Beeger, the previous play, and the Yellow Jackets limped off the field. Charlie Nelson was the one that helped bring Deming down on that long 32-yard run, as they are now down to the 17-yard line and it's 2nd and 2.
Meyer making the decision to pitch, and Deming had to put on a little burst of acceleration there to get outside Robert Jensen, the cornerback who came up to force for Perham.
And Aaron Drummond also in on the stop for the Jackets. Meyer sets him down out of the eye. Man in motion is Matt Miller. He goes motion right. The give off to Jeff Deming. He tries the right side for a couple of yards. John Tater in on the stop for the Yellow Jacket defense.
GFW has rolled up some awfully big scores on the season coming into this game. They've averaged in their 13 games better than 41 points per game. Scored 59 against Gaylord, 60 against Minnesota Valley Lutheran, and 67 against Sleepy Eye St. Mary's. They've got explosive offensive potential.
Well, with Gibbon-Fairfax-Winthrop on the march, Perham head coach Fred Saylor wants to take a timeout to try to regroup with the defense. It is a 1st and 10 on the 13-yard line for the Thunderbirds. And they're trying to punch it in.
Chuck Sundin, the Thunderbirds coach, with his GFW players rallied around him. Chuck Sundin's been on a real emotional roller coaster here lately. Of course, a great performance by the football team. But his father, Sonny, has been critically ill for the last few weeks. And I know Chuck's really been torn about that. He's had the ups of the football teams and the downs of his his father's life to deal with, and it's tough for him to juggle. I talked with him on Thanksgiving night for a while, and the ups are up and the lows are low. Chuck's from Kirkhoven, Minnesota. Got his start as a head coach in high school at Pequot Lakes. And he wound up at Winthrop back when Winthrop was a separate high school in 1971. And then when Winthrop and Gaylord started to pair in 1983, he became the assistant coach under Gaylord's Dave Main. He volunteered for the assistant role rather than cause trouble. Dave Main had won several state championships at Gaylord, so Chuck was more than happy to move in as his number 2, and now is the head coach at GFW.
Well, maybe it's payback time. This time, Meyer keeps the ball, rolls to his left. He is down to the 7-yard line. And a nice pickup of about 7 yards brought down by Aaron Drummond, the right tackle for the Parham defense.
Again, Jamie Meyer with a good decision, both in keeping the ball and a good decision in where to pick his spot to run. And with the speed, still has the strength to be able to bowl through for an extra few yards.
Well, 4:55 and counting here remaining in the first half. We're tied up at 7. Our Class B championship game had a 91-yard kickoff return for a score. Another 12-yard touchdown run to tie it up. And GFW is here knocking again. The quick pitch to Deming. He goes right, cuts back against the grain, and he's down to the 2-yard line. And Jason Moore saves the touchdown.
But that's still good for a first down, and now the Thunderbirds will have 4 cracks from the 2.
The first and goal from the 2-yard line. As that vaunted rushing attack we talked about so often for the Thunderbirds is really taking shape here.
Look at number 48, the 230-pound Brian Lampka, and a pretty impressive leader for that play running to the right, and then Deming carefully picking his holes to cut back and find where the yardage was available. 7-7, we're tied up here in the second quarter, but GFW 2 yards away from taking the lead.
Well, here's Meyer, the straight eye, then the man in motion is John Deming. They go to the left, and to the goal line is Jeff Deming. Did not get in, brought down by Don Braun.
Well, he didn't miss by much, but he did come down just short of the goal line. Some college football action to pass along, Terry. In the fourth quarter in Iowa City, the Gophers leading the Hawkeyes by a score of 19-7. And a final out of Ann Arbor. Michigan clinched the Big Ten championship today. The Wolverines beat Ohio State 28-18.
That means the Illini will probably go to the Citrus Bowl in Orlando on New Year's Day.
Well, they're about a foot away, Perry.
Here we go, 2nd and 1, or inches, less than 1. Our football, Jeff Deming in for the touchdown.
For Jeff Deming, his 23rd touchdown of the season. No doubt about that one.
Went to the right side. Matt Pettis, John Buboltz, and under that great blocking, he found the end zone and gives the GFW club the lead.
Out of the eye, nothing fancy coming at you on the right side.
There you see also Brian Lapka, number 48, leading his way through the and Deming just went in for the score. Here's the extra point attempt, and it will be John Deming. And right through the uprights for a 14-7 lead. So brother Jeff scores a touchdown. He mops up with the extra point. 14-7, GFW over Parham with 3:27 remaining here in the first half.
Coming up in the games following this one, we'll have the Class A championship next. That'll match Albany against Totino Grace at Fridley. And then the AA contest to cap off the evening, Stillwater and Burnsville, a battle of 2 of Minnesota's traditional high school football powers. The Ponies and the Braves, a rematch of the 1984 Prep Bowl.
Maybe at stake bragging rights for Team of the Decade. Here's some of our hard-working crew members. They just kind of stand around and wave. Yeah. And all the friends. Actually, he's going to point to the stand and say those are his friends. But kicking off will be John Deming. That was a touchdown drive, 57 yards, 7 plays, chewed up almost 3 minutes, 2:59 on the clock. The big play, the 32-yard run by Jeff Deming.
And Charlie Nelson is back on the field for Perham. He's the kick return man on the near side, and again the ball kicked away from him, but he gets it on the reverse.
On the reverse is Charlie Nelson. A flag is down, and he is brought down at the 18. We'll check the marker. Probably a clip.
That was well behind the play, so if it was completely unnecessary to the flow of the play, but it'll hurt the Yellow Jackets considerably.
It looked like number 74, Jeff Rose, was hit behind the
back. There it is.
And so that will Be a bit of a deeper hole for the Perham offense. Take a look at the reverse. King gets it, handoff to Nelson. And there you see the clip call.
Now, Perham faked the reverse on the opening kickoff, but in that case, it was Nelson who received the ball in the first place. So he faked the reverse and kept it, and it worked very effectively as he went on to score on a 91-yard run.
Well, looks like Charlie Nelson is in good stead after that kickoff return. He was knocked out briefly in the previous series. Now the handoff given to Rick Walk, the 5'10", 168-pound junior, and brought down there by Chad Woods, who kind of controls the middle part of the defensive line, and Matt Pettis also helping out.
Chad Woods, another part of that GFW size, 225 pounds. He's played fullback for him on offense, and he does a good job stopping up the middle on defense.
Good size for a nose guard. 6 feet, 225.
Woods at 225, Lamke at 230, Bubolt's at 225. A lot of size for a Class B team for this GFW bunch.
Well, here's Charlie Nelson in the straight eye formation. Puts him down at the 8-yard line, and the pitch, they go wide to Matt King. He cuts it back up to about the 11-yard line. A pickup of about 4. And brought down there by Chad Woods again, and they will call a timeout on the field. The timeout will be taken by the Thunderbirds, hoping to get the ball back with 2:21 remaining here in the first half.
Perham able to open things up a little bit offensively by choosing the pitch option rather than the dive. They've got 2 minutes and 21 seconds to get downfield to try to tie this game before the half expires. Fred Saylor, the Perham Yellow Jackets coach, is a Bemidji State graduate. He's had 11 years at Perham, the last 4 as the head coach. When he took over in 1986, Perham wound up 1-7. They've climbed up one rung at a time since then. In '87, they went 4-5. Last year, the Yellow Jackets went 7-3 before losing to the eventual Class B state champion Breckenridge in the section championship game. And then this year, Perham comes in 12-1. They're only lost by a 19-6 score to Monoman, the team that went on to play in the Prep Bowl here in Class C, and lost to Waterville-Elysian in the game immediately preceding this one.
An exciting game that was. Of course, Perham very close to hometown of one of our General Line colleagues in the basketball tournament, Janet Carvin from the New York Mills area. The Duchess, as we fondly call her. From Wadena, Peter Brown, General Line sports photographer, part of our production crew, also from that part of the state. So we have a 3rd and 5 to go for the Yellow Jackets. They have the power I formation deep in Brick Walk. Tater is the up back. The pitch is to Walk. He goes wide left. Has some running room now. Cuts it back outside. Picks up the first down as he dives out of bounds. And they'll mark it at the 21-yard line. And Jamie Meyer, the right cornerback, made the stop for the Thunderbirds, but not before the Yellow Jackets picked up the first down.
Even on 3rd and 5, which is a pass situation for most college and pro teams, the pass really not an option for Perham. They pretty much had to run the ball wide here. And Rick Walk had plenty to get the first down.
Well, he eluded Matt Miller there. Then they busted it out. They mark it now at the 18. And with 2:13 remaining here, first half. Now a deuce backfield. He splits them. And this time they'll put it up. And he completes it to Don Braun with the 2 touchdown receptions on the year. And Jamie Meyer, the cornerback, again on the stop.
2:07 to play in the first half. Should this Perham drive fall short of the end zone, they've got a chance to get some points even if they get down to the 20. Because their kicker, Dan Meyer, has a 38-yard long field goal this year. So if they get down to the 20, they've got a shot at 3. Just short of the first down by a yard on 2nd down here for the Yellow Jackets.
Once again, now an I formation. The fake handoff, and Nelson still with the football. And he cuts it to the near sideline and hauled out of bounds at the 40.
And Jamie Meyer, number 16 for GFW, the man who did the hauling. These 2 guys on center stage as the quarterbacks for their run-oriented team.
Well, that is a gain of 13 and a first down for the Yellow Jackets. Meyer has been on the last 3 stops. I don't think you want your cornerback involved with that many tackles.
2 minutes exactly remaining. Perham starting this drive in the shadow of its own goal line, but the Yellow Jackets on a consistent march here.
They have 2 timeouts remaining and 2 minutes to work with. Now Brown goes in motion left. This time the give straight up the belly series, and it's Tater, the fullback, the up man in the eye, and he's hauled down there by Buboltz, number 69, and a host of other tacklers for the Thunderbirds.
Interesting call at this point with no move being made to stop the clock. 1:42 and counting. Fourth quarter update now from Iowa City. Golden Gophers lead the Hawkeyes 29-7 in the fourth quarter of play. Minnesota's going to wind up 6-5. And
well, you look back at the Ohio State game they had, and they could have been bowled down. Could have, would have, should have. Nevertheless, could have be back next year. But this is Rick Watt, and he is hauled down there by Matt Pettis after a pickup of about 8, and they will now have to burn one of their timeouts.
The Yellow Jackets have one left, and there's a minute 16 to play. Here goes Walk to the outside. They've done a lot of running to the left today, which is not entirely unexpected. Most teams are right-handed oriented because they have right-handed quarterbacks. Perham's quarterback, Charlie Nelson, is a lefty. And there he is with head coach Fred Saylor.
What a big moment it is, not only for the players. We talk so much about the players, but the coaching staff, too, to play for a state championship and be involved in the Metrodome situation.
Fred Saylor, the Perham football coach, had taken a Yellow Jackets team to the state baseball tournament back in 1984. But this is the first time Perham ever got involved in the state tournament in football. To get here to the Prep Bowl, they had to beat Deer River, the #1 ranked team in the state last week, 10-7 on a late field goal. And in the quarterfinals, they beat De La Salle of Minneapolis by a score of 10-7, also on a fourth quarter field goal.
And the second-ranked team in the state in the final poll was Morris, and they lost to Rushford Peterson, who in turn was knocked off by GFW 34-0. So,
third down, just over a yard for the Yellow Jackets.
First they'll pick it up. The clock will stop to move the chains. But this is Charlie Nelson puts it upstairs. And it is actually knocked away nicely to avoid the interception. That was Don Braun who actually knocked it away from Rich Bussey.
Nelson throwing against the grain on that play. Rolling to his left-hand side, then had to plant and steam that ball across the field. He had an awful long way to throw it. And in retrospect, would have been better off keeping it.
Well, Bussey was in position for the interception, but Braun did a nice job to knock it away to avoid the interception. And here, 4th and 1 with 1:09 remaining in the second quarter.
The Yellow Jackets go for it. They give it up here. They think they can hold GFW.
And here's the give to Rick Walk. Rick Walk picks up the first down, and they'll have to stop the clock to move the chains. And once again, it's Rich Bussey on the stop.
Good first hit by Bussey coming out of the backfield to prevent that play from going any further. But the clock is in motion. Perham with just one timeout remaining in the half. And they've still got to move another 25 yards plus just to get in field goal range. They trail by 7, 14-7.
We're inside a minute now. First half, the clock is running. The ball at the 47-yard line in GFW territory. Here's Perham on the attack. That's Nelson. Flags thrown everywhere in the area that's usually considered holding. Don Braun made the catch, but it looks like this ball may come back.
Perham offensive huddle marching backwards, and indeed offensive holding is the preliminary indication. So with 46 seconds to play, that 10-yard offensive holding penalty, one would think would kill the Yellow Jackets' chances of getting on the scoreboard again here before the first half ends. Now we'll see if they just choose to go conservative on offense and just try to run the clock out, or if indeed they crank it up and try to go long and take a chance that they can get some more points. Trailing by 7 is not the worst position in the world for Perham. GFW with an explosive offense held to just 14 points in the first half. That's not a bad accomplishment.
And certainly you don't want to have a turnover with still 44 seconds to go and counting.
The great thing about Perham is with Charlie Nelson around, they're never out of a game because he returns punts, he returns kickoffs. Anytime he can get his hands on the ball, he really is a threat to score. He's done it.
And this time looks like a quarterback draw. Nelson fumbles the ball, but gets his own fumble in dangerous territory and a dangerous moment there for the Yellow Jackets. But Nelson does pick up his own fumble, and they will probably... Now they're going to stop the clock one more time with 15 seconds to go. This will be their last timeout.
Real good concept on that play. Looked like you're going to throw long, have Nelson drop back, and then take advantage of his quickness on the quarterback draw. That could have broken for a long gainer. As it was, they nearly had the worst possible result, a fumble lost, but Nelson able to recover his own fumble.
Matt Pettis involved in that whole situation. A few words from Fred Saylor there to his quarterback, Charlie Nelson.
Oh, a week ago were these teams ever cold? Perham was playing Deer River in a -24 wind chill, and here they are in the Dome this afternoon. To get ready for this one, they went to their new community center in Perham and sweated. Got inside, turned the heat up, and ran till they couldn't run anymore to get their endurance up for these markedly different conditions. GFW likewise went inside for the week. They practiced at the gym at the high school in Winthrop.
And as we talked about earlier, too, the situation of playing on an artificial surface is pretty unique at a high school level.
Although, you know, it's funny, Perry, that one's not quite as bad because the fields up north at least have been so hard here the last couple of weeks. I don't think they've been any softer than the artificial turf, but it does feel different when you cut, that's for sure.
Well, here we go. 15 seconds remaining first half, and GFW leading by a touchdown and an extra point. This is Nelson with the eye and a fumble on the play, and once again, it is recovered apparently by the Yellow Jackets. Literally diving on the ball. Looked like it was John Tater, number 33, the up man, the fullback, in an I formation, and let the clock run out as the Prairie Yellow Jackets and the Thunderbirds from GFW have played one half of this Class B championship game, and our score at halftime, the Thunderbirds 14, the Yellow Jackets 7. We'll be back with halftime festivities after this break.
Every day, newspapers reach 41% of the Twin Cities market, while television reaches 90%. So if you're depending on newspapers to deliver your message, think of the impact you could make with television. TV advertising, twice the audience of newspaper, twice the impact.
If you like to shop at TJ Maxx and Marshalls, you'll love Sylvester's Fashion Outlet. At Sylvester's Fashion Outlet, you'll save 50 to 80% off of name brand fashions. This girl's skirt by Cherokee, normally $20. Sylvester's sale price, only $9. But with their special 3-notch discount system, this skirt's only $2.25. Sylvester's Fashion Outlet.
Billy Valentine's a fast-talking con man. Louis Winthrop's a straight-talking businessman.
Morning.
Then their worlds collided.
Is there a problem, officer?
Valentine goes from rags to riches.
I can really dig this, man. You know why? This kind of thing happens to me every week.
And Winthrop goes from riches to rags. Comedy sensation Eddie Murphy, Dan Aykroyd, and Jamie Lee Curtis. Trading Places.
Tuesday night at 7 on Receptive Channel 9.
Wanted, a few good men and women. Experience new thrills. Travel to new and exciting places. Meet interesting people. Learn from the masters and have the time of your life.
I'm so excited I can watch.
Get ready, because MASH wants you.
MASH, weeknights at 6 and 10 on Receptive Channel 9.
J.G. Preston here with Perry Williams at halftime of our Class B state championship game. And now let's join our public address announcer for our halftime entertainment.
Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the Albany Area Marching Band, conducted by Mr. Tim Wegge. The Albany Area Marching Band will play the following selections: Bravura, What I Did for Love, and Eye of the Tiger. The Albany Area Marching Band. Ladies and gentlemen, the Albany Area Marching Band.
The Albany High School Marching Cavaliers are halftime entertainment here at the Metrodome. I'm J.G. Preston along with Perry Williams. Second half action coming up as GFW leads Perham by a score of 14-7 here in our Prep Bowl 8 coverage.
Record the scene. Working together, showing you how. Hoping you say it, doing it now. When there's work to be done, stories to tell, details to capture, nothing works faster. We are the answer. Nothing works like Polaroid. Nothing works like Polaroid.
Dan's all worked up when he's pursued by his boss's beautiful niece.
Oh, Danny boy.
Yes, sir, just looking up something. If you so much as lay a finger on her, I'll have you practicing proof law in doggy court.
Can Dan resist her flirtatious advances?
Please stop teasing me.
Oh, was I a bad kitty? I should be disciplined.
Or will he get into big trouble on the next Night Court?
Monday night at 6:30 on Channel 9.
They say 86% of fat women enjoy sex.
This weekend, there's big fun with Arsenio.
Actually, I can believe it because you know how hungry you get after making love?
Join the party as he gets the skinny from Geraldo Rivera, plus some tall tales.
Actually, I'm 6'1". Stand up.
From Detroit Piston Isaiah Thomas. And some big sounds from Amen star Sherman Hemsley on the Arsenio Hall Weekend Jam.
Sunday night at 10:30 on Channel 9.
On the next Family Ties.
They all hate me.
Poor Skippy's batting 0 with the ladies.
Does the word love scare you?
After all, he's had some rough treatment before.
Somewhere in between close personal friend and dog.
But now, it'll take some drastic action to pull him out of this slump.
Hippie, this is Skippy.
Will you two ever get married? Your kids could be flippy, snippy, and different.
The blind date they'll talk about for years on Family Ties.
Monday afternoon at 5:30 on Channel 9.